Now we're live again. Not that I mean, who's gonna watch us live? But
Right.
we're live. Let me just make sure we're live.
We're alive, I think.
We're live according to. Well, this is probably still doing.
Yeah, I want to make sure I have the proper
Link.
stream going. Yeah, neither one was going, so I'm gonna start YouTube over again here.
Yeah.
There we go. Looks like the live chat
That's the old
is
one.
working now.
Okay.
Fuck. Really need to figure out my configuration better here. A lot of stuff going on this desk, in this area.
Need to get your shit together.
You have it. You said you're in with the chat up, Brandon.
Yep. I am.
Mine's acting goofy here. It keeps showing me the old one. Figure out my configuration.
Just restarted my app and then it showed it properly.
Oh, here we go. There we go. All right, yeah. All right. You have it. You said you're in with the.
Okay. There we go.
All right. What else is there that we're supposed to do? Just pod?
Just pause.
Pod it up.
Just pod it up.
Can you
No.
What?
What?
I was saying in the settings for the live, can you select, because you can do set it as a podcast now, so it tags that on YouTube.
Oh.
There's a specific category for podcast now.
Let me see.
It's edibles about
I don't know if I can change that now, but
Oh, and we gotta include the what are you drinking towards the beginning of the show.
uh-oh.
Gotta try to sit perfectly still so that my stupid chair doesn't
Squeaky
click all day
chair.
long.
How do you? I mean, I did it through OBS. It just goes straight through OBS.
My YouTube shows a bunch of blank squares right now. I can't see us.
That's because I guess because I just went away from Discord. It should be back now. Let me know if it's back
Okay.
in a few seconds.
Yeah.
And then
It's like showing the thing around who's talking,
Yeah.
but
because I clicked away into Chrome.
there we go.
All right, cool.
What else?
I don't know. Anyone else need to do any thing before we
Let me
do
go.
this thing?
Let me go take a shit and smoke a joint.
Yeah, it's a perfect time to do it.
Yeah. Pay my bills.
You can do that from your phone. Come on.
Actually pay your bills, or like code word for sex? Pay your bills.
No, it was just paying my bills was the joke.
Yeah.
Sorry, I wasn't.
I don't know how.
Yeah. Be clear and precise about your jokes.
I will.
Yeah,
next
I don't know how that really. Okay, whatever. Let's.
Let's do it.
All right. A moment of silence, please. Yo, yo, yo. Welcome back. It's been 3 years. Welcome to what you know as the Unknown Podcast. Episode 35. We have dropped the seasons because who knows if we'll be doing more of these. Anyway, I am, of course, your host, Scott the Thought. Tonight, I am joined by my two lovely co-hosts, Brandon,
What's up, everybody?
Mr. Smoothie, And I can't hear you, Smoothie.
Can't hear you, Smoothie.
Muted yourself
oh,
or
shit.
something right when we went fucking live.
Already with the technical difficulties. I
Wonderful.
muted myself.
All right, cool. Say hi.
I'm here though. I'm here. What's going on?
And tonight we are joined by one of our Howdy Inc. homies, Mr. Adam Schooler, or Scuffles
What's
as he
up,
calls
what's up?
himself in our Discord and everywhere else online.
I've been called pretty much everything you can call a man.
All right.
It's not been good.
Damn. I
You've
hope
never
that's a
been
good
called
thing.
Big hairy ass man.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Have they called you Dick Long?
No.
Well, then I guess
No.
you're a liar now. You've come on record on our podcast. First time back in 3
Coming
years,
right
and you
out
come
the
in with
gate.
fucking lies, dude.
Yes. Shoot him down the alley with some lies.
All
Let's
right.
refer to him as
Started.
Dick Long for the rest of the night.
You're Dick Long now.
Dick sounds like Dick Lung.
It's already
I mean,
changed on the
maybe.
Discord.
I won't judge you if you're a Dick Lung. I don't really know. You can take that however you want, I guess.
Yeah.
Or don't take it at all.
Well,
is
he's
what I'm
taking it
just-
somehow.
I'm
If he's
just
got
odd.
dick in his lungs.
Great. We're already 2 minutes in the podcast and already.
You know, we're probably never going to be sponsored or anything, so who cares? Don't show this to your children. Or do if your
I thought it was
kids are
for
weirdos.
children only.
Oh, yeah, this was for
Yeah.
kids.
Or if you're
And,
Yeah.
you know we're for the kids here.
Special guest for people watching. There's Dash.
Puppy!
He will be looking up the stairs all night
no,
long,
I was looking over it,
waiting for
giving the side eye.
Liz to come
Liz.
out.
All right,
That's what
well,
I'm doing.
we have to start out with. Do you guys have shots? I don't know if we discussed that. I assume we do.
I do.
I am alcohol free.
Oh, very good. I have liquor for the first time in
Not
months.
forever, just right now.
Bullet rye, bullet whiskey.
I
So,
love Bullet.
cheers.
Cheers to the Unknown Podcast being back.
We're back.
Again.
We back, bitch.
We're back.
Nom 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 nom.
I'm at a point in my life where I don't want to drink Fireball anymore.
Yeah, I don't want to
That's
drink
kind
liquor,
of where I'm at.
but I
I'm
just
kind of over
Burn
it.
out.
So burnt out on it.
Yeah, you're
I
burnt
mean,
out from
I-
Fireball.
So what?
That's
You're
not a
burnt out
bad
from
thing.
Fireball. Get
Burn out
Get
from
it,
Fireball.
get
I
it.
drink.
okay.
I drink. Oh, I do get it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Drink
Okay,
too
cool.
much. I've tried to switch it up here lately. And
I
Bullet's
didn't
one of
get
the
it
ones that I like.
either, so it's. Yeah.
I spilled some of the Fireball right before we took the shot,
Damn.
of course. So
You really are off your
there's an
game
old-
as far as
there's
that
an old
goes.
Guar shirt to clean it up with.
What better to use?
Yeah, I mean, seriously, what else?
Yeah.
That's what I had handy to clean up spilled Fireball.
It's probably already stained anyway, wasn't it?
Yes.
All right, perfect.
Yeah, it's a Gore shirt.
Yeah, it has to be. All
So
right,
what's everybody drinking tonight other than Fireball?
Smoothie. I saw you just
Fucking
pouring a
hungry.
cup.
Yeah, I'm drinking. What do I got? Oh, Yingling Light Lager. Trying to
Nice.
keep it light. Drinking out of the Red Solo Cup in honor of Toby Keith.
R.I.P. to a legend or whatever. I don't know. I don't give a
Yeah.
shit about Toby Keith. Sorry, Smoothie.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's all good.
That was
He
weird.
came along after country went to shit.
When did he get started? No, I don't give a shit. Who cares? I got an
Yeah.
old fashioned. I'm not drinking
Ooh.
a beer on the show tonight. For the first time ever, I'm drinking a mixed drink that I mixed all myself. So, cheers.
Fancy man now. You gonna go golfing now?
Yeah, since the last time we've done an episode, I became an old man. So now I drink old fashions
Yeah.
instead of beer.
Good call.
You're really raising the bar on the podcast.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I'm drinking a beer. It's a Wendigo. It's just a winter ale. Just love the cover. Look at that bad boy. It's sexy.
Yeah,
Oh,
that thing's
yeah.
pretty awesome.
That's cool. Where's that made?
Three Heads. It's here in Rochester.
Hell yeah.
All right. I guess I'm the only one who's gonna Christian the pod with a click the can.
I'm glad
You
somebody
are.
came. Was that it? That was terrible.
Sorry.
Oh, that was not a good one.
I guess I didn't get it close enough to the mic.
Schooler, you got anything, man? Water?
You got water?
Yeah, I
Your-
got a nice
piss
coffee.
jug? Oh, there you go.
Yeah, because I got water too. Hydro.
I also have
homies.
water. And another beer, but I don't have
I got a water with the
What up?
water. Got that.
chugging. I got the water.
You got that
Got the water.
Philly adjacent
water.
accent. The water.
Water.
All right, fellas.
All right. So
We're
what
back
brought us back?
after 3
Yeah.
years.
Would you say?
Why are we back? Because this year is the 20-year anniversary of the beginning of Howdy Inc. So we figured that's a pretty good reason to come back.
Yeah, it's
I
the
think that's why
year
we're
of
back.
the ink, 2024.
Year of the Ink.
You heard it here
Started
first.
in. It started 20 years ago, and that's pretty cool. So we
Yeah.
might as well do something this year.
Yeah. Do you know when? Like, do you have a date for when you started Howdy Inc. specifically?
Yeah, I should have looked it up. It is June,
It was in June.
but I don't
okay.
remember the exact date. Yeah.
Really? It was that? It was in summer. Okay.
Yeah,
Wow, I'm
but,
just trying to
I mean,
think.
the
20 years ago, I guess.
it went from. I mean, in terms of the message board, it went from Happy Keg to, I believe, yeah, it was June.
Oh, we were in B6 at this time.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was B6 era. Because this is
It
right
was.
before we went to the gathering in August, and I know that we were
Mhm.
still on B6 then.
Yeah, because I had one of the guys that posted with us on B6 wrote for the six.com and he posted about the Howdy show. Like he secretly embedded it into a link on the six.com that took you to the Howdy show or
That's
something.
awesome.
They hosted it. No, and they hosted it. The video file was hosted on the Six server is where that lived in
Damn.
the very first episode.
Do you remember who that was?
Huh.
So we can shout them out?
No,
All right.
I don't. No.
Shout out to the six.com.
Shout out to
RIP to that too. Not so much RIP to B6. That board. I'm
It was
all right.
fun for
It was
when it was and whatnot.
It was fun for a while until it was incredibly awful.
Yeah.
So
But, I mean, that's what brought most of us here together.
Yeah,
is
pretty
because
much.
of that message board, or the
mhm.
message board following that, or Schooler was actually a real life friend, so that's
Yeah.
cool.
yeah. We met through my Connie ex-wife.
All right. Do you remember what message board you started with us there, Schooler?
Yeah, it was the Howdy Inc.
It was the Howdy
It was
Inc.
just
one.
the-
Okay, when we created
Yeah.
our own.
Yeah, it's the old, yeah.
And
Yeah.
by we, I mean
That's
Brandon
what I'm
did.
saying.
Now
The,
it's probably like 2008,
Mhm.
I think.
Mhm.
Probably somewhere around there.
That's right. How the message, how the ink, that's right. 2000.
Yeah.
That's when message board. That was July when that. Started.
Mhm. I believe so.
I don't. Damn, that's crazy. You guys remember it like that.
Wasn't
I wish I did, but you guys do, so good enough.
Yeah.
now? No,
Right.
I do remember that.
At
Yeah.
least somebody does.
Yeah, there's I mean, I think I associate it with like cuz I remember it being summer, that's for sure, cuz I remember waking up before work before I went to the park for like 18,000 hours and yeah, getting a message from you saying, "Hey, we have our own message board now. We're going there." I was like, "Okay, I'm
Oh,
coming."
And for the people that don't know that are tuning in for the first time, the website that we're talking about, the six.com, was a Insane Clown Posse
Mhm.
message board, like fan site message board is what that was.
Full on
And
juggalo
that-
stuff.
But you're right, the whole Juggalo world is kind of how, again, minus Schooler because we met in real life, but is how the rest of us
Yes.
met.
And I met you in real life at the gathering that year,
Mhm.
almost 20 years ago. Good lord.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's funny to think about all this because what they're doing now, ICP for Juggalo Weekend, or one of the nights they're doing the Wicked Wonka
hmm
tour, and that would be my first.
Oh yeah.
I'd like to say that's my initiation into the. I will say that's when I Juggalo.
Your
when I became
Juggalo
down that-
Genesis is what we can call
Yes.
I wish I could go to that.
where's-
That looked like it would be awesome.
it. Mm-hmm.
It was the original tour was good, and that was I hadn't started listening to them at that point. Me and my friends, we were just there to see Bone,
I remember.
so that's
telling
where
you.
I learned about Tech Nine for the first time and Cottonmouth Kings, and we saw Bone, but we were waiting to get Bones autograph. It was
Yeah,
just Lazy
Cottonmouth
Bones.
Kings.
I saw Cottonmouth Kings is playing the upcoming Juggalo weekend, and there was a picture of the group on the little promo shot, and I think half of them I had never seen before.
I
Two
think
of
they're
the
almost
four I didn't know.
all
Maybe
new
three of the
guys at
four.
this point. Besides, I mean,
Maybe
they
three
were
of the
in
four.
Sub Noise, but I don't think who is D-Lo still even part of that? I don't think he is he?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
The one I can't think of. Who,
Yeah.
if you look at the picture,
I
I'm
haven't
not
even
sure.
heard anybody bring up the Cottonmouth Kings.
I don't yeah.
Quite a
They're-
while.
yeah,
They were cool
They're-
for their time.
Yeah.
In their time, they did a really good live show. We saw them a ton of times, and it was always really fun. They put on a great show.
Yeah, when I saw them, on the Wicked Wonka tour, I thought it was pretty good for my first time seeing
Yeah.
them.
When they had them and they had Corporate Avenger opening for them like for a long time there, and we saw them a bunch of times. It's great. Those were always fun nights.
Yeah.
The one thing with the upcoming Juggalo weekend thing, I think it was neat. They posted an updated picture. I knew they were doing the Wicked Wonka set, but they kind of are trying to recreate, like you said, the original lineup. They have Cottonmouth Kings, Lazy Bones, not
Yeah.
Full Bone Harmony, and
That's so
Chris
cool.
Calico, and not Tech Nine. But
Yeah.
I think they did a good job at least trying to acknowledge the.
I
Yeah.
saw all those people, but I didn't put two and two together that those were all the people that were on the Wonka tour. So that's really cool.
I imagine it's also
So now
much
we're a
cheaper
fucking
to have
Juggalo
those
podcast.
people
Absolutely.
than Tech, especially, who's like, I would definitely say has completely surpassed ICP in popularity and all that. So,
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
and he's like a multi-millionaire now. So they couldn't afford him if they wanted him.
I
And
started
that was-
Chris
listening to his
Calico.
Pandora channel, and there's a lot of newer Tech songs that are really good too.
Yeah, he's never really been bad. He's consistent. I'll give him that. I'm
Yeah.
kind
it
of
ain't as
bored of
good
his.
as the old shit.
No,
Mm.
no. Absolute Power is like one of the best albums. One of the best rap
And
albums.
I will say when I saw him for the first time on the Wicked Wonka tour, and he opened the show with "The Industry Is Punks."
Oh man.
I was like hooked from there. The energy and everything.
Yeah.
I was like, this is
Yeah, I
Right.
saw him for the first time at the Gathering that year, 2024, and that was like the highlight of the entire Gathering. That was the best show, and there were a lot of good ones. We had Well, we'll get to that when we're gonna have to have like a whole Gathering episode of the
We
Unknown
will for
Pod
sure.
where we talk
And your
about
brother has
that.
to be on that episode.
No, yeah,
Yep.
and you could talk about the
And,
last episode of the Howdy Show.
Yep. Schooler
Ugh.
was recorded for a lost episode of the Howdy Show too. You guys have that in common. One night we got drunk
Yeah.
and recorded all kinds of stuff, and we thought it was fucking hilarious, and we still reference it all the fucking time. But I never did anything with it, and it's still just sitting here on the hard drive.
You never just decided to release it?
After it had just sat for so long, then I was like, fucking now it's old and I don't give a shit about it. But
I think.
now.
yeah,
Give me the
That'd be
file.
cool.
I'm putting it in our feed. One of these. I can put it in our
there we
feed.
go.
We will release
go.
it through our Unknown podcast feed.
All right.
It's the
we
perfect
got
timing now too.
Yeah.
Especially since
lost
right
Howdy
now.
Inc. footage 20 years later. Yep. Might as well.
Yeah.
You're right.
You will not
There you
get the
go.
lost episode of the Howdy Show from the Gathering. That was deleted.
Unfortunately not. God, if there was just like some way to like magically finally like be given the tapes that we recorded from that,
Yeah.
it would be
I.
fucking mind blowing to be able to see that.
Yep. Well, yeah. Some of it. We were fucking drunk a lot of the times. Who knows what the fuck it looked like? Who
I
knows
know.
what we were
I
doing?
I'd pay a lot of money if somebody would be able to hand me that.
I mean, it's probably for the best that we never released it anyway because I was
Yeah.
16.
yeah, there's that. But
And Aaron was
even
18.
releasing it like now, I would just like to see it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
do
for
have
us.
one from the Peoria Gathering. I did take a camcorder there, and like me and my friends recorded some stuff there. So
Oh, nice.
it's cool. I have that. I
The
don't know.
only gathering I've been to was Toledo,
Yeah,
and I think that was what 2000, 2001.
2001, the second Gathering.
Have they all
Yeah, I
been in
saw a
Ohio?
dude punch a police horse.
Yeah, so before Schooler and I even knew each other, based on the guy punching a police horse after ICP let out at the second gathering.
Yeah.
We were both like
Juggalos.
very much in the same area as each other, and we learned
Yeah.
that years later. But
I was on LSD.
That
Oh,
seems
no.
like a hell of a thing to be doing at an ICP show.
Yeah, that's why I did it.
that was the one where the
Yeah.
ICP show didn't happen, right?
Yeah, because they trashed the stage before
Yeah.
they dropped the last card.
Yeah, like right into the beginning of the set, like the stage hall. where the
Yeah,
shit in
I
the
think
show
they
got
might have
canceled.
gotten 2 songs in.
Yeah, I was pissed.
That
Yeah,
does
me
suck.
too.
I was super pissed. We went back to the hotel room, got our shit, and drove home instead of staying and partying for the last night like we were supposed to.
Damn.
And then another time was the fucking sold out Corporate Avenger show.
The time we saw Corporate Avenger at Bogarts, there was probably literally 30 people there.
Yeah,
That's sold
Like,
out.
most everybody
No,
was just sitting
no.
on the. Yeah, I
Oh,
was just.
gonna say.
Yeah.
But like me and my group of friends were like
The
there because we
sarcasm.
knew.
Oh.
All right, god damn it, stop talking about the fucking Juggalo stuff. Move the fuck on.
Hey, it's what brought us all together. It's our
It
mold.
is. I know, and then I
Yeah.
get mad about it. Leave
It's-
that
it's
to
a-
Deck
Yeah,
One.
usually I'm yelling at. Yeah, we'll leave it to Kyle, which we'll have to have on again. So
How's he doing with Deck One Delta? Deck One Delta's doing like really well.
they're starting to take off a little bit of the
Far as
Juggle
I know.
world. Yeah. Yeah, they have a pretty active Discord that I'm in.
Yeah,
Oh,
I get
word.
the everyone message.
I know, I'm
every
on their-
Sunday to come hang out with them.
Yeah,
I've
I
got
watch.
their Facebook page on my feed.
Yeah, no, they're great. They're doing really good. Their
Their AI images
They're
are awesome.
active. Yeah, they're definitely active.
yeah.
I love
Kyle
their
knows how to
AI
pot.
images.
He
Kyle
really
does
does.
know how to pop. That's all there is to it.
I'll never
They're
have
very
any of the flashy shit for us, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna learn that stuff. I'm sorry.
I've always been super jealous of Kyle's setup and ability to make his show look fucking awesome.
Focus. Anyway, so
And I like that Helmet Derek's doing something. I like
yeah,
Derek a lot.
and he's got his
And then-
Chris
and
has
he's
joined
a
now
lot.
too. I don't know if you remember his friend Chris,
Yeah.
but
I do.
now
Yeah.
he's officially part of that podcast too. So
Cool.
yeah, it's great. Smoothie,
Yeah,
you're doing
those are-
your Mind is Smoothie stuff now, aren't you? Again?
Yeah, I started this year. We got a later start. It's funny
Yeah.
you showed the Wendigo beer, the first episode for this year. I did on a very low budget Canadian film from the 80s, which is good. I like it. Called Ghost Keeper, but they make mention of the Wendigo
The
in there.
Wendigo.
But, I got that out at the end of January, and then I released 2 episodes. The most recent one just went out yesterday morning, so I'm trying to stay consistent with it, much like I want to do with this show. And I've come to the realization of a lot of times I was holding myself back with it. There was a lot of other personal stuff going on that kind of kept me from doing it or got me the motivation. But also just getting in my own head when recording and worrying about like editing and taking out the breaths. And I just made that decision. I'm doing minimal editing this year and just getting it out there.
You ain't gotta be perfect. Just
Yeah.
do it to have fun with it.
You got to do it to do it. So
Yeah, and I noticed that when I listen back to my episodes after they're released, because I listen on my podcast at 2.5 speed anyway.
good
I sound
lord,
so much
dude.
better. I sound so much better. I listen to a lot of podcasts
I guess.
during the week. I at least
Damn.
listen 10 a day.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's great, man.
Hey,
It's not,
I need
not
you to.
that-
I got
Like
Smoothie.
speed reading.
I have homework for you, Smoothie. I want you to have prepared for the next episode of this show. I need you to have a clip to be able to pull up of this conversation right now at 2.5
Yeah.
speed because I want to hear what it sounds like.
I do that with books sometimes if I'm doing an audiobook because I just want to burn through it. But man, I can't imagine listening to a conversation at 2.5.
well, well, that's what
2.5
I
is
was
real fast to me.
It's like, hey,
Yeah.
It's weird.
I mean, you
when
do
I
use
listen
Smitty.
to mine, it sounds fast. Like it sounds really extra fast. But when I listen to other podcasts, I don't know if they record like at a slower speed or if they're doing something, but it doesn't sound too bad.
You're just used
but
to
it's
like
it,
horrible.
I think.
It's like if I go back, if I hit like go back to normal speed, and I'm listening to it. I was like, "What the hell is this? It's so slow."
Yeah.
It's like you get so used to hearing
Oh,
people.
yeah.
Yeah, you get used to it. So we started up the Howdy Inc. book club at the beginning of the
Yep.
year.
And we
That's something we can
actually
speak on.
finished a fucking book.
And we read the first book of the Dark Tower series, The Gunslinger.
Yeah.
And I read the book and listened along to the audio book on Spotify, since they give you some free audiobooks on there now. And I listened to it at just regular speed, and I probably could have listened to it at a faster speed and got done with it a little bit quicker. And if I do that with the second book, I think I will speed it up a little bit. Probably not a 2.5 situation.
No.
That sounds really
audio-
fast to me.
Yeah.
Audiobooks do
But
that.
this guy read pretty slowly
Yeah.
in this book, so it could have definitely been sped up.
Yeah.
So what did you?
Does Spotify give you that option? Is that an option with
Yes.
Spotify? Does anybody know? Yes.
It
okay.
does. I know that I read the rules about their podcast, like not their podcast, their audiobook thing, which kind of annoys the hell out of me. You get what I think 15 hours a month
Yeah.
free. It doesn't matter how
Yeah.
fast you listen to it. If you listen to a 10-hour book in 5 hours, you still get 10 hours docked from you. It's stupid.
Okay, gotcha.
Spotify.
Dark Tower wasn't too long, so
No.
starting the second one, I think I'll be alright.
Well, the second one's going to
probably.
be like twice as long. I think that one's
Yeah.
over 400 pages, whereas the first
But
one
then-
was
but
just
if
a
I
hair over
can-
200.
Yeah. If I can speed it up, then maybe I can make it a little bit more similar
Yeah.
over time, though.
Yeah, I gotta
Brandon,
start the second one.
Sorry, was that the first time you read that book, or?
No, I
The
had read
series?
it before. I've read the first book before, and I think I started the second book at one point.
Mm.
And
You've never made it all the way through this series, so.
No.
Alright, yeah,
no,
I
no.
think it's good then that we're going to try and push for it through the year. That's
Yeah.
all set.
I think some people might finish a little bit quicker than others, and that's perfectly fine, though. I don't.
Just cut that
Just-
piece into the.
I know I read slower than everybody else. I definitely don't want anybody to like wait for me or anything. But we'll all get there. So I think it's cool that we're doing it.
No,
Well-
yeah, I proposed to Scott the other day. Like, I mean, obviously saw it in the Discord thread. At least like a what did I say? Book a month, right?
A book a
Shoot
month if
for-
you
Mhm.
can. I mean,
If
Mhm.
you can, I know obviously the other ones
after the
would be
third
spaced out.
book, they're all giant. I think the sixth book is the shortest one of that one's still like 200 something pages, but everything from here on is like 400 pages, 400, 300, 400 pages, then 500, 600. I think the
Well,
last
Seven-
one's like
seven's-
800 pages or something like that. So
Okay.
it's like
Hey,
there's-
so I was reading something that said that like that the last book of the series is technically like the 4.5 book of the series.
oh yeah.
Which order should you read it in? Should you put that in like the 4.5 slot or save it till the end? Because
That-
Stephen King said to put it in the 4.5 slot.
It's more of a companion book than it is really part of. It's not really it's Roland telling the characters you haven't met yet a couple of at least one it's like a story that he's telling them, so it's not fully related to the overarching story. It kind of takes place at a resting point for them when they're in between 4 and 5 traveling.
Okay.
So I don't even know if it's like necessary reading material, but we can certainly do it. I'm fine with that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean we should definitely do them all.
Okay. Then we'll do that one. I guess we'll do it. I personally think we should do it in order of release. So that one we
Nice.
do just kind of like a after we finish the series, kind of going in and just doing like a especially after that series ends, it'd be nice to kind of like revisit, but with like a lower stakes book.
Cool. That's what we'll do.
Unless someone else has a different opinion, I don't care. I don't know if we'll be
No,
burnt
I
out
mean,
by then to even do it in the first place.
Well, maybe like I said, I posted that PDF, scan from the Kindle book.
Yeah.
I don't know if all of them are going to have something like that at the end, but
Mhm.
I avoided that at the time that you had posted it because I was still like halfway through the book or something. So I was like, oh shit, I don't want to read anything on there.
Mhm.
But it looked like it had all kinds of good stuff. But
yeah. So I don't.
now
I'm curious.
would be the time to come back to it because now I did finish the book.
Yeah, I mean, that's always an option too if it's something we want to toss around. But that's why I put it out there. Just it was nice that it was in there and I could share that.
Let's mention Tom. Tom was supposed
Yeah.
to join us tonight.
Yeah.
He's our newest Howdy
The
Inc.
tall man.
Discord.
Yeah.
Remember, he's the tallest
The
person
tall man.
on the message board.
Sure is. He's.
I don't remember him from your wedding though.
No?
I mean, I know.
He was.
And
He's like
maybe-
6'7". He's taller than me.
Oh, I
But-
was so fucking high at your wedding. So
Well,
fucking
yeah.
high.
Well, yeah, that Jenga game was. Well,
Yeah.
it's where the big boys were.
God, so high. That was a good time.
Yeah, I don't know how many joints just got pulled out and passed around. It just like an endless supply of like, I don't know who had them. I don't remember who had them. I was just there.
That was like a top 10 high of all time.
And Jenga and
Top 5? Top 10, we'll say for sure.
Marilyn
Oh, yeah.
Manson being number 1.
I guess we'll consider that.
Oh shit.
Jesus. All right, what else? What else we got to talk about here, fellas? I liked the book club stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were good. I'm glad that started. That lasted much longer than Howdy Size for this year, which I did not.
Howdy
decide.
Size didn't go super well this year. Schooler here pops in like, what the fuck? Y'all just gave up? And I
When'd you
thought,
start?
Schooler, you never fucking started, motherfucker.
I know. That's so I don't have shit. You can't say shit to me. I never started.
But you said shit to us.
Yeah,
I
because
thought, what the
y'all
fuck?
started.
He was working out vicariously through you two.
Yeah.
He was doing his
I forgot one
Right, I'm
morning and then it
Good
was
job,
done.
guys.
Yeah.
Essentially, I just
It
forgot.
popped up on my time hop on January 1st. There it was, of course, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, let's do it!" And
Yeah.
of course not.
If
I
it,
definitely opted out this year, but I've been picking up at the gym and,
Yeah.
and running and stuff.
I've been
on
going to the
my
gym
own,
too, so I was like,
I need
if
to
I
get back on
if
the
I
skateboard.
fuck it up, yeah, I got to do that this year again too. I didn't do it at all last year.
Jones and to get on the skateboard.
Yeah.
And I got a couple friends right now that are at Schooler, the pit that we went to for the
Yeah.
big competition. Every
Yeah.
second Saturday is their open house, and you don't have to be a member to get into the place. So I wanted to go there tonight so bad to skate the place. I've never skated the place, but I got stuck hanging out with you fuckers.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
How's the dad skate squad? Like, do you still have the shack place or whatever?
Yeah, we still have the
Uh,
shack place, and I pay for it every month, and I don't fucking go and skate it.
Damn.
Is the what happens there?
Yeah. You talking
There's
about
a-
going somewhere else?
I know, and I have a place of my own that I can go at any point. But that place is way fucking way fucking cooler than what the dad skate shack is. But
Yeah.
regardless, I need to go fucking use the damn thing for sure.
So let's make a Discord thread of Howdy Skate or something, and then you're more motivated to do
Hell
it
yeah.
because then you can post about it.
Yep.
Seems to be the biggest motivation for us, so we can post
Yeah.
pictures of what we're doing on
You're
Discord.
right. That's pretty much it.
It
I mean, I made
It
like,
worked.
a handful. I made a handful of really good friends out of the Dad Skate Squad that I still talk to pretty regularly, and I go and meet them at shows here and there and stuff.
Sweet.
So, regardless of how much skating, like, still the Dad Skate Squad, like, just was the coolest fucking thing ever.
Nice.
Now is it just? Obviously I know you've kind of slowed down with it or whatever, but is like the group still going strong, or is it kind of fizzled out?
It's kind of fizzled out. Like on Wednesday nights, which was our normal like go skate the town nights, but we can't do that right now because of the weather regardless. But still on Wednesday night there's like a handful of people that get together at the skate shack, like sometimes 3 or 4 people. I went a couple months ago and there was like 6 of us there, and the one guy was like, holy shit, I ain't seen this many people here in forever. So there's a few guys that are like really fucking good that show up like every Wednesday night and keep skating. And then
Yeah,
when during the time when there is like the Wednesday night rides, because that's where it's at for me, is the like when you go to the downtown and meet at a spot and like 30 people skated through downtown. That was the selling point for it for me. But that group, even this last year, like it was down considerably, like to maybe like a dozen people or so on any given time.
Yeah, that definitely seems like a fun That
It
part
was
of
that was a COVID thing. It was thanks to COVID. Everything had been canceled. All of the dads had none of their kids' shit to be able to go to because there was nothing happening. So we ended up with like 30 to 40 people on busy nights going out and riding through the fucking streets, and that was fucking awesome. But it was because of COVID. Once shit started to be normal again, we never had those numbers ever again.
Yeah, I think for me, I mean, not that I'm going to join a group like that anytime soon. I don't even know that one's around here, but in terms of board wise, I think I'm going to look into this year a long board, more of a
Yeah.
more cruising board. Just
what I have.
I'm not going to be a Tony Hawk. I'm just going to go out and
Mhm.
just enjoy going out riding.
Yeah.
'Cause
And
I
get one of
think
the ones that sits low to the ground. If it sits low to, there's the ones that are like up on top of the trucks, or they're the ones that are called like drop through or something, where the trucks come up through and the board like is so near the ground, so you'll feel super comfortable because you're not very far off the ground.
Yeah. Also,
I'll have to check it out. And I think that's what I want to. So I mean, I know I can do it with the one I have now in the interim, but I think I'm gonna give up on my dreams of doing even an ollie.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm
The
kind of
pre-
at that point too. I just want to just go ride my fucking skateboard. I
Yep.
just want to ride it through the town and ride it through the streets and shit. That's what I enjoy doing.
I also
Should all get
suggest
some-
getting like big, soft tires. That's what I had to do because I had regular
Any
wheels on
longboard
one.
you buy will.
I would be stopped dead in my tracks over like pebbles and shit, and I got launched off of it once, and that wasn't fun. So don't. So get that.
Pebbles.
Yeah,
Pebbles are a
Yeah, I
I
skateboarder's
literally
worst
just
enemy.
smashed into the fucking pavement. It was awful. So don't be
did-
like that.
We
I
should
did-
all get some Heelys.
There we go. I don't think
You can
they
start
make
the
them on my
Heelys
side.
Club.
Yeah.
Howdy Keely Club.
Hell yeah.
Sounds rolls off the tongue nicely, I guess.
Can somebody make an AI image for that?
Heelys on a
Howdy
skateboard, so you
Heelys.
can have like one foot on the board and one on the ground. Just
I have made enough Howdy Inc. related AI images to where I could post one like every single day on our Instagram. And I probably should,
Do it.
so that it's like active and like people like shit and whatnot.
Mhm.
But here, you can see how much we fucking procrastinated to start this shit.
3 years.
3 years.
But the
What
fact
is?
Here is
Yeah,
a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
I don't even
It's
really
true. And-
remember what really inspired us to start again. We just were like, you know what? Fuck it. It's been a while. Let's just do it. 20 years of Howdy Inc. We should probably do something like this.
And I like our 9 p.m. start time way better than
So do I.
11 p.m. like we did the last time.
Yep.
We've gotten older. We can't do it.
I can't do it.
COVID has happened. COVID has
Yeah.
happened. We don't do 11 p.m. start time. We can't.
My life is too fucking busy after COVID. Now that I'm so tired. Like 11 o'clock, you can't get me to talk. I won't talk to you about anything. So,
What time is it? It's almost 10 o'clock. I'm usually not talking by 10 o'clock at night.
yeah, I would say I'm about the same.
Yeah.
I'm also probably
usually
pretty fucking
down here
baked by then,
in
but,
my
yeah.
recliner, sitting here, listening to records and just scrolling on my phone. Or now reading books is what I do.
Now we're reading because we are definitely getting old.
I'm usually asleep at this point on
Yeah.
a Saturday night because I attempt to watch a movie.
You watched a movie, yeah.
and it doesn't work.
Schooler, what you been up to? Schooler, I saw you got some new flashy video game stuff. What you get?
Oh, PSVR 2.
Is that cool?
Have you tried it yet?
Yeah, well, I just set it up and played that Call of the Mountain, the Horizon Call of the Mountain game a little bit.
Oh, okay.
And then hopped off there about 10 minutes before we started here. But yeah, it's really cool. It's a vast improvement over the old one.
Hmm.
That's for sure.
I haven't
Never
tried the
played it.
PlayStation ones.
I've never tried. Yeah, I've never played them.
Yeah. You do a game night or something one night, I'll bring it with me.
But then only one
Mhm.
person can play it at a time, right? But yeah, I mean, at least we
Yeah.
all try it out, though. Yeah, obviously we
Yeah.
can't all play it at once. That's a stupid thing to say.
All pass
Yeah,
each
that's a good
other's
idea.
sweaty headset around.
Yeah,
Good
but
old
yeah,
VR.
I would like to try it out. So yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So,
What else? Anybody been playing anything good video game wise? Smoothie's been on a mission
Yeah.
to buy every Xbox 360 game that ever exists. How's that going?
Good, kinda.
Halfway there.
any new games
Oh.
since your last post on Discord?
That was a great post on
Uh,
Discord.
Oh, the features of the game. Yeah, no. The last game I purchased was to test out your Xbox store, Scott.
Yeah.
So you have an
God your
Xbox
store
store.
worked.
It wasn't working. I tried it 2 nights in a row. I was trying to buy fucking RoboCop.
It
What's
works.
RoboCop? Is that a new one?
Yeah, it's a first-person
Yeah.
shooter. It feels like a game from like 2003. It's fucking, but it's
It's
so
the
good.
same. It's the same people that did the Terminator Resistance game.
Oh, I didn't know that. I don't give a shit. That game is
Yeah.
fun. It's just pure violence.
RoboCop. Yeah. Yeah. It's
RoboCop's fun. That's
Yeah.
what you're saying.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to check that out eventually.
I got the new.
I think the next
Suicide.
one on
Oh,
my
Go ahead.
on my list is that I'm going to pick up is the Tomb Raider remaster.
Oh, the trilogy.
Oh yeah, they're doing like a. Is that a remaster or a remake? I can't remember what they're doing with
They're
that.
just
Remaster.
Okay.
Yeah, they're just up in the graphic thing, like not like the anniversary edition. Like the first one's still going to look like the first one on PlayStation, just with better polished graphics.
And are they
I
more
look-
round or are they still triangle titties?
Yeah, no, I think they're more rounded, at least
Oh,
from
nice.
what I can
All
tell.
right.
I think
They
they're more rounded.
filed those
Well,
bad boys down.
that sucks, but okay.
Episode 35. Are they more round or are they triangle
Titties. What are they doing?
The only thing
Let's
I'm
see if
waiting on
Spotify
right
lets me
now
put that
is
as a
the-
name.
the Final Fantasy VII.
Titties.
Who's gonna
remake.
do the
Second
who's gonna do
part.
the whole audio thing here?
I'll do it.
Who's gonna do the? You doing it?
All I do is I rip it from YouTube, and then I
Right on.
just cut it down, add in our intro that sounds like shit now comparatively to on my microphone.
Thanks for
but
doing all
whatever.
Thanks for doing all the work, man.
Yeah, it wasn't
I
much.
appreciate you doing what, but I appreciate it.
Yeah, not a problem.
My computer is a pretty big piece of shit these days, so I was worried that even this was going to work, but
Yeah.
it's doing just fine, it seems.
Yeah, I didn't realize just how easy it was once I did like a small Google search and downloaded OBS and connected it to your YouTube channel. I was like, oh, all I have to do is share the screen to OBS from Discord, and boom, boom, here we are. That's it.
It's crazy. Like,
And the
how
audio from the
now-
application. I just choose the application I want to share the audio from, and it's Discord's one of them. There we go. That's all I had to do. It is the
It's crazy
easiest shit
how
on earth. I couldn't
easy
believe
it is now.
Yeah. We're used to this taking over an hour. We start at 11.
Yeah.
We get on at 11 and then don't even
Yeah.
start till midnight.
Yeah. I can't believe
is-
that we had not done this in 3 years, and I can't believe how easily we just fucking picked up and it worked. That's amazing.
We had to
Right.
wait for
Minus
the future.
Smoothie having his mic muted during his intro, but
Yeah.
that was user error.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At first I was like, no, come on. Not
glad
this can't be
Yeah.
happening right now.
I was just
No.
died laughing.
It was the good old
happened, though.
ID10T error. So
I'm
Yeah.
glad that it was such an easy fix, and I'm glad we could
Yeah.
have a fuck up moment.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah,
It
we
wouldn't-
needed
Yeah.
we
it.
didn't have a fuck up moment at all. That would be weird.
Yeah. At least our
it
audio
is crazy
all
to
working.
think. It is crazy to think though, going back almost 20 years or whatever from the time the Ustream,
Yeah.
Howdy radio shows, and then what was the program you used
Winamp.
to use?
He did
No,
it
no,
through
no.
Winamp.
Yes, Winamp.
Yeah.
No,
it
the
whoops
video
the llama's
program.
ass.
The Winamp is where Howdy Radio started when we first started live streaming Howdy Radio. The one that you're referring to, I think, Smithy, was a program called Vid Blaster
That's
that I
right.
used that had all the different things on the screen and camera 1 and camera 2, and you could load videos. It was really cool.
And you could do the same thing now with OB, which is a free program.
Yeah,
But wasn't that
yeah.
like? I mean, I know you didn't pay for
Yeah,
that.
correct.
But it was an expensive program at the time.
It
But
was.
it's crazy to see how it's easy. Everything technically has.
Vid
There was
Blaster
a,
lawyers are coming for you now. Smoothie put
There
you on
was,
blast.
Probably not. I wonder if it's even a thing anymore. I wonder if that company still even exists.
Vid Blaster sounds like
was,
a porno site. Anyway, go on.
It does. There was a group of people that kind of did the whole like internet video thing early on called Revision 3, and they did Dignation, if you guys remember that. and they did Scam School, and this guy Brian Brushwood that did Scam School, ended up talking to him on the internet a lot, and he was the one that recommended VidBlaster to me and told me where to get the crack for it,
Oh yeah.
of how to work it for free. It was like $500 software,
Yeah.
like you were saying, Smithy. It was super expensive.
Vid Blaster
Super
X, it still exists.
Yeah, and that was what I used, and it was so cool because we were able to have all kinds of different configurations of what we looked at. It was fun, but it just caused so many problems because it did not work perfectly and as easily as this shit does now.
Yeah.
And I bet you that if it still exists now, like you said, I guarantee it's not $500 anymore. It's
Right.
probably a monthly subscription like everything
Yes.
else.
It's a subscription,
is.
yeah. There's like 3 different
Yeah.
tiers. There's $9 a year for home, $99 a year for studio, and $1,000 a year for broadcast. So
Wow.
3 completely different tiers.
You guys keep
Yeah.
talking. I'll be right back.
All right. So what started you on your journey on the 360? Why the 360? You were going older school previously, right?
With the PSP, yeah.
Yeah.
So at the end of last year, I don't know what, just because I think in the pictures that I posted in the drawer, I think I opened it the one day. I was like, oh, let me pull out the PSP. No, I'm sorry, scratching. Going back to Tomb Raider. That is why I had modded my 3DS, and I was playing Tomb Raider, my PS1 copy on there, and it froze
Hmm.
for some reason. So I was like, oh, let me go on the PSP. I have it on the PSP, a legit copy. And then I was like, oh, the PSP's fun. I started watching videos, like go down that rabbit trail, hidden gems on the PSP, all this fun stuff. And then, it kind of plateaued out. And then I stumbled upon, I guess the 360 store is closing in July. So you
Damn,
can
I didn't know it was
buy-
still open.
Yeah, the store's still open, and I started watching some videos about like hidden gems, and then it just started me down there. I was like, oh, let me see ones I can find because they're still fairly cheap.
Mm-hmm.
And I use eStarland.com. They a bunch of used games. That's where we get PSP games. I go and just look and see what the prices are for complete ones, and find the cheapest ones I could, and ones that I wanted, of course. And you can get like, which is the one game, Spec Ops: The Line. I didn't play when that came out.
Great
That
game.
just got this delisted last week. I think it just delisted it on the store, and it's already shot up in price. But I paid $13 for a complete used copy, and when they send them, they shrink wrap them. I mean, it's not factory sealed,
Yeah.
but all the discs are perfect. Manuals there. It's real nice. So I was just like, oh, I'm gonna do this. So that started me, and I've always been about the achievements.
Yeah.
And I'm not as good as some other people are consistent with it, but that's what's always drawn me back to the Xbox. Like, and that's why it's my favorite. The 360 is my favorite console of all time.
It's a very good console.
That's
Yeah,
why-
that was great.
So many
that's
fucking
why-
memories of that thing.
Yeah.
And when I got I think I posted that in the thing when I opened the Series X, the box was similar to the 360, and it took me back immediately. I was
Yeah.
like, this is great. Like it was nice. I was watching some unboxing videos of like still newer 360s, so a lot more stuff in the box back then. Of course, manuals and
Yep.
like they color coded the bags like to be green and orange. But when I opened it, I was like, oh, this is great. This took me right back to opening my first 360. So
Nice.
Video
that's what
game box openings are great, and I still have a big stack of all of my video game boxes that I can't seem to throw away quite yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I didn't throw away my original 360 box. Everyone else, I really don't care, but that one's one. When I was watching the recent unboxing video, I was like, I wish I still had that.
I had my Sega
That was
Genesis box
such
for
a
a
good
long
time for gaming.
Yeah, 360 was
Yeah.
so fucking good.
That era of gaming was pretty much the last era for people that you see like long lines for like midnight game releases and
Yeah.
shit.
They don't exist anymore. Everything went digital.
Yeah. I mean, there's people but it's not the same.
No.
No, it was definitely a great great error, and I think moving forward, I've come to the conclusion that everything I'm going to focus on Xbox stuff. So like my Switch, which I still love.
Do you?
Well, it was a love hate relationship. We all know. I had a nice little rant about it before I even had one.
Now it's
But,
your toilet buddy.
But yes, but I've come to the conclusion that I'm going to just stick with like Nintendo exclusives there. I have the PS3 sitting over here as well. I'm just going to stick with exclusive games, not go and try and get like I was BioShock. I'm not going to try and get those for that. Everything is going to be mainly Xbox.
So now you got the new Xbox. You'll be buying physical for Xbox moving forward still, right? I mean, of course, you'll buy deals and shit off the store or whatever, but
in terms of games that are across multiple places, whether old or new, like I have like the BioShock. That's a good example. I have that for the Switch. I bought it. I have it for the PS4, Xbox as well. But like
Oh.
those kind of
Aaron just came in ominously to
games
laugh like a
to stick with.
psycho.
yeah, was that how I'm laughing? I couldn't even tell.
A wild Aaron appears
He's
in
still
our
there,
podcast.
yeah.
He just fucking rated us.
I'm here.
There he is. What's up?
I did. I was
Oh, shit.
listening to my horrorcore sound Spotify playlist, and I thought I heard Q Strange coming into the podcast.
No, it's just us rapping
Oh, okay.
about horror stuff as we do.
Oh, hell yeah!
So Smoothie, since you're now Mr. Xbox almost exclusively, besides the Switch, of course, how do you feel about these rumors of Xbox exclusive games that always been exclusive going to like PlayStation now? Apparently that's going
I
to
don't
happen.
care.
Yeah, I mean either. I was just wondering if you had an opinion.
No, I haven't. I saw those videos come up my feed, and I haven't watched, or I've watched a couple of them. They more were concerned about like the end of the console itself.
Yeah.
I
don't see that
care
happening.
If they port Gears over to the Switch, I would play Gears on the Switch.
Hold
I'd have
on,
no
hold
problem.
on. I've never heard anything about this. So you're saying shit that is Xbox exclusive could be on PlayStation? Something like Forza could be on PlayStation?
Right
Something like
now, the big
Halo
ones they're
could be on
talking
there.
about is like
Yeah.
Starfield. There's rumors Starfield,
Yep.
Indiana Jones, and something else. And I think Gears
Oh,
of
Hi-Fi
War.
Rush was one of them, and Gears
Yeah.
of War.
That's
But
another.
those ones make more sense because they were third party before they were acquired by Xbox, so it makes sense that like a Bethesda game would go to like PS5 and stuff. But like,
Even back when Xbox or
something that
Microsoft
is-
bought Bethesda, Tim Howard said it would feel weird if we
Yeah.
didn't have
It would
games
be-
on multiple platforms.
also
Well,
not giving as much money.
Yeah.
Weren't they talking about like just completely getting out of the console game totally?
No, it's a
Wasn't
rumor.
that like part of it?
That's just where people took
Oh,
it to
okay.
after they heard the
People
rumor.
assume that because they figured that it would be better for them to just like be publishers and Game
How's
Pass and all
Xbox
that
selling?
shit.
Is anybody buying the Xboxes? Are they not?
They
are
sell
they, like,
all
really
right.
not doing well?
They're like
Yeah.
the PlayStation outsells them like 2-1, I guess, or something like that. But they still do fine, you know.
Yeah.
I mean,
They're,
when
they're
you
obviously
remember 3
lost
out
the
of
console
3.
rollers,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
Still a good console though.
Like, does any of you guys think that like Xbox is kind of on its way out? Like, is there a possibility that over the next couple years that like it'll get worse? You think?
if they have Game Pass, I mean,
Yeah.
if they push Game Pass onto other things, they probably could do that because then why would you
Yeah.
Why would you bother putting the money into hardware when you could put it all into software and streaming and subscriptions, and which is where gaming seems to be going right now anyway, is fucking
Barf.
subscriptions.
Yeah,
Gross.
I think they're still working on a HD, like a whatever the word is I'm looking for. But you
You-
put it in your HDMI dongle. That's the word I'm looking. They're working on a Game Pass like dongle with a controller.
real?
Works with a controller. It's the last I heard, and that was like a few
Wait.
years ago.
Oh, what would that be? What do you mean?
Just like a dongle you put in your HDMI, and
Like
kind of like
Oh,
an Amazon
oh,
Fire
okay.
TV or something like
Okay.
that.
I gotcha.
I would
That
imagine that
sounds
would be
stupid.
It just
I would
have
imagine-
onboard
cloud gaming.
uh,
I would imagine that would
memory
be the
and-
push of gaming
yeah.
right there with that aspect of it.
That's crazy.
I mean, they are
Aaron, your
Samsung
camera's
has
off.
a thing with them that they have the apps on the TV.
would the
and
dongle
I've
all be
tried that.
streaming Game Pass games, or would
It
there
would-
be any internal storage to where you could download Game Pass games to an internal storage on the dongle?
That I don't know.
Probably streaming.
It sounds like it'd be a streaming thing, like a Roku thing or
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah, I would
I
think
would
like a
so.
Fire Stick. But
Cloud.
What's up, Aaron? Thanks for
Yeah,
joining.
I would
us,
assume
Aaron.
that would be the cloud based,
no,
like
he's gone.
strictly cloud based.
Right on.
Which I
whatever.
think for the most part, I play a lot of the Game Pass games
on the
through
shitter.
the cloud. Yes, that'd be nice. I need to get a backbone. Is that what they're called?
You can't do it on
Yeah.
an iPhone unless I guess you could do it through the browser.
Yeah.
But
It
they
works
I have
really
an
well.
Android, so
It makes its
Uh,
own little like app icon on your screen and everything on your home screen. It works really well. The cloud gaming does on the phone. Some
so
games have on-screen controls where you don't even need something
Yeah.
to hook in. But of course, those don't work real well.
no,
they're
But
of
they're not
course.
easy to
You
use.
stealing Smoothie's catchphrase?
yes, but of course
Of course.
the man. Now you distracted me there, Aaron.
Aaron, you drinking anything?
He's got a piss jug.
Blackberry.
The blackberry smash. It's kind of gross.
I don't know.
Blackberry Snatch. Is that what you said?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I heard.
Pussy
I read it.
juicy.
That's what it said right there on it. Yeah.
Pussy juicy.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
What's everybody been playing? Did we say what's everybody been playing, or did we just talk about video games in general?
I don't think we addressed. anybody
Anybody
currently.
playing anything worth a shit? Yeah, we ain't gotta talk about it. I don't care. What's
What's
everybody been watching? I
What
just
have I
watched The
been
Bear.
playing?
How about The Bear? Can we
Uh,
talk about
Bear's
The Bear?
great, dude. I love that.
I've
show.
heard it's great. I just haven't gotten around to starting it yet.
It was
That's the
really
show,
good. Yeah.
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 No, it's
First
it's
episode.
also an
Enjoy
animal.
it.
It's on Hulu, isn't it?
Yeah.
Thank
I watched
Yeah,
it on
it's
Plex.
It's also
Yeah.
on Plex.
Yeah.
It was really
Legally
good.
acquired.
I
Every
watched,
fucking episode.
Reacher.
I've never seen that before.
Dude, it rules. It's on Prime. It's really good. It's
I need to find
about a
something
guy-
else for me was to watch because now that we finished The Bear, that was like The Bear was the first time like we watched a show together in a long, long time. But now we need to find something else to watch to keep that going.
I don't know if
So
Liz
Reacher
will watch
didn't-
Reacher.
Is Reacher? Is that the one? What?
Reacher didn't seem like a show that I would have liked until I started watching it, and it's really violent. It's about a giant man who solves problems by punching people. It's really good. I loved it. It's so good. I binged the first 2 seasons in like a week.
Nice.
Anybody else got any recommendations
So-
of what I should watch next?
Try the new season of True Detective on HBO. That's
Yeah,
good.
that
It's
too.
been good.
The five episodes have dropped.
I've never
There's only
seen previous
6.
seasons. Does that matter?
No. You watched the first season, I thought, didn't you? With Matthew
Matthew
McConaughey.
McConaughey
No.
and
I did.
Woody Harrelson
Oh,
and
no.
Alexandra Daddario's nice boobs.
yeah, they're there too.
No. I got
I mean,
You
those are some grade A knockers.
it's an anthology
rating, no?
series, so you don't
Gotcha.
have to. Season 4 does kind of connect to season 1, but I don't think it really matters that you didn't watch season 1 to get the story of season
No,
4. You really, I don't think
It's
you
more
have.
like it's
If
yeah,
you
it's
know,
more
you
like the
know.
Leonardo DiCaprio meme being like, "Oh, that's the thing from
Yeah.
season 1.
Yeah,
That's the thing."
There's
That's
references.
basically
I'm like,
it.
oh, I got it, but I don't think it really mattered in the first place if you ever watched it.
No.
Trying to think, what else am I watching? I have not been. I've been sporadically watching things, not really sticking
Yeah.
to much. So
I've been turning on Pluto TV, the app Pluto TV.
Yeah.
I've been using that a lot lately. There's just like a couple horror channels and comedy channels and shit. I've got tired of like scrolling through all the other shit. I just turn that on and pick out something from there.
Yeah, they got a Mystery Science Theater 3000
Yeah,
channel. That
I've been turning that on. Yeah, I've been turning that on when I fall asleep here
That's a
lately.
good idea.
Yep, that's a good one. That's a good one to fall asleep to.
It sure
Yep.
is.
They have a
I'm
Family
old.
Ties channel on Pluto, which I like.
Oh,
I'll
what
just throw
channel?
on
Say it,
Thunder's
say it again,
Cruise.
Smithy. What channel?
Family Ties.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's a
Well,
bunch of good ones like that too. There's like ones. Yeah,
There's
hell
a
yeah.
Three's Company one too, I think, which
Mhm.
is another good.
There's an anime channel. There's a couple good wrestling channels. There's a Mexican
Kitchen
wrestling
Nightmares.
channel.
Kitchen Nightmares is a good background noise one.
Is
Hell
it
yeah.
though? Because isn't that show like just Gordon Ramsay yelling and swearing? So it's like 1,000 bleeps and him
Which
yelling.
one?
That doesn't sound like great background noise to me.
Well, no, because they're it's the BBC broadcast, so they're not. It's not
Ooh,
censored.
the big
Yeah.
black cock broadcast.
Yeah, it's the big
Yeah,
black cock
that's right.
version of it.
Where Gordon Ramsay
Welcome
likes
back,
to be.
Smoothie.
Oh yeah.
Shit.
Anybody seen any good movies lately?
No.
I have
Any
not.
good ones.
No. There ain't shit lately.
Yeah.
I like the concept of the new Evil Dead movie. Oh, side note, I went to a bar
I like
last
that one.
night. Let me throw this in there real quick. I went to a bar last night called the Overlook Lodge, which is based on the bar in The Shining.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And all of the interior decorations were super fucking cool. The drinks were stupid fucking expensive, but it was a cool
course.
place. But never have I been in a bar where they turned on the Evil Dead on the TVs, and I was sitting there the whole time while Evil Dead was playing on multiple TVs throughout the place. That was
Sick.
fucking.
Could you hear
That
it
was fucking
too?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
cool.
In a bar?
Yeah, they had.
Holy shit.
Yeah, yeah. It was very low volume,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was there. But yeah, like the one movie ended. Creep Show was playing when I came in. Creep Show.
Oh,
was
fuck yeah.
playing. That ended, and then here comes
Those
a
are
screen of
classic
this. The bartender was like scrolling through all these movies to pick, and she picked The Evil Dead, and I was like, that could not have been more fucking perfect that she picked The Evil
So
Dead.
this bar is horror themed and they just play horror movies.
Yeah,
That's fucking
just
awesome,
horror.
dude.
That's
I like
cool.
that.
Oh, yeah.
It was
Fan-
very cool. I got a drink called the Ski Lodge. Everything's themed to that. It's fucking awesome. It
Nice.
was very cool. It's like 2 minutes away from my house.
You know
That's
what?
cool.
No, no shit.
So if we do the gathering of the Inklos this year,
hmm
where we should end up at?
We should, but maybe for not all night long because the drinks are very
Yeah.
expensive.
Take out a loan before we go.
It
Who
was.
says we have to
it-
buy anything? We just go to watch the cool movies. Just-
fair enough. I spent too much money on. I mean, we
Just
bought
pre-game.
Yeah, whatever.
Pre-game before you go.
But what
Yeah.
what made me think that was we were talking about movies, and I was gonna say I like the way that they're talking about the new Evil Dead movie, how there's gonna be like different directors and shit like that that are like Sam Raimi approved to make like a new Evil Dead movie themselves. I think that sounds awesome. I think that's a cool idea.
I mean,
That's
you could
something
make
that
it
we
Yeah,
million
need
of
to
them.
work on.
Yeah, instead of them trying to do Evil Dead 4 forever, that's what they just should have done in the first place.
Yeah, it's all
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I'm looking.
Hey, that
I'm-
movie was never going to get made, so
no,
Not
might
by
as well
Sam
let somebody
Raimi.
else do it. No.
I'm cool seeing different people's takes on it. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that would be Ash. It can.
No,
Right.
it would be dumb. I mean, it's about being possessed by an evil book. It doesn't need to have the same characters, you know.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, if he could, make 100 really good movies, then so be it. But that ain't gonna happen. So whatever. You
No.
gotta do something different.
True that.
But
No,
they're gonna-
Sam Raimi's rumored for Secret Wars.
I know.
Yuck.
Yeah, the Avenger movies. Yeah. I don't get.
Uh,
I don't know
man.
What?
how anyone
Secret
else
Wars?
here feels about Marvel
Yeah, yeah,
movies
yeah.
lately, but I don't give a single shit about them anymore.
I haven't watched the Marvels yet.
The
No,
Marvels, I actually didn't think it was too bad.
it
I
wasn't
mean,
bad.
the
but-
only people
Really?
that I heard complain about it really were just because it was woke and all women.
Well,
whatever the fuck woke even means, you know.
Right. Nobody knows anymore.
There's no definition for it. It's just
Yeah.
It has something.
Everybody's a
I
woke, communist, Marxist.
Fuck yeah, I
something.
am.
I'm just like, yep,
Uh,
whatever you want to call me, dude.
you liberal.
Yep.
I watched
Libtard.
the new Aquaman movie. It was
Sick.
it was and
Yeah.
the fact that it's like the last one is really funny because it just doesn't it's like basically just a standalone movie. And like
Yeah.
they didn't
Yeah.
even like have like they didn't have the confidence in the audience to not remind you of shit that happened in the first movie like every 5 minutes too. Literal cutscenes from like the flashbacks to the first movie. That movie made like $1 billion. It's like one of the highest grossing superhero movies ever. Aquaman. Like the
new
fact
one
that
or the original one.
no, the first one. The new one is one of the lowest. That movie bombed horribly.
Yeah, no,
That's
Basically because
technically-
they're like they were basically like, look, we have to put this out.
Yeah.
They
Just
they
get
didn't
it out
advertise
there
it
and
till
we'll
like a month.
move on.
Like they
Yeah,
didn't advertise it for like a month before it came out.
Yeah, before I hopped on here, that's what we were.
Isn't that
watching-
technically the last
Mm.
movie of the DCEU or whatever?
Yep, it is. It's
Yeah.
fine. Like it's an okay movie, but it's just kind of like whatever. It does feel like more like a proper like what like a like a movie sequel used to be. They take the bad guy from the first one and just kind of they bump him up to like the main villain, and they really just have like everybody from the first movie coming back. No new characters really. Everybody, so it's just
commercial.
basically the same cast.
It was an ad. And
Well,
it had
what's that?
Jason. An ad. It had Jason Momoa, and then it had Zach Braff and what's his name from Scrubs in it.
The Donald Faison
thought it-
or whatever.
Phase on Love or no? But I know you're talking.
Yeah,
Media.
Turk or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were in it. I thought it was just the weirdest thing to randomly see.
But that was probably a T-Mobile Internet commercial. Was it not?
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
Yeah, because I know Zach.
It was
Braff-
just a
Yeah.
crummy commercial.
They're
Yeah.
doing Scrubs reunions and T-Mobile commercials. Is that where we're at now?
That's it. It's
Yeah.
just commercials.
That's unfortunate.
No,
I love
it probably
Sal.
pays more.
Yeah, I know.
Scrubs. I mean, I don't love commercials.
Yeah.
Scrubs is 20 years old.
Yeah, it is.
20 years old, just like Howdy Inc.
We're just like Scrubs.
Mhm.
Oh, the
you
champagne
guys-
liquor.
Did you guys love Scrubs as much as I did? Did anybody else?
I did
I
like
did.
it. Yeah.
I didn't get into. I don't think I've ever watched it enough. I should say. I have to go
Oh.
back. That and the
It's one of my
Office.
all-time-
You only need
One
to
of my
watch
all-time
through the 8th season.
Yeah.
Do not watch whatever they're calling season 9.
Last season doesn't
Yeah,
count
It is,
whatsoever.
I started
No,
that when it
it's-
aired. I'm like,
it's
never
something
watching
completely
this. I'm
different.
done. Yeah, it's garbage.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
not including the bullshit, stupid last season. I think the Scrubs finale was like I
It
think
was-
maybe my favorite finale of all time.
It was a very good finale, that one, yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I loved it. My
I don't
God, it was
remember.
So fucking good when he was walking down the hallway and then
Yeah.
he walked outside and the janitor guy, which was Bill Lawrence. It was just
Yeah.
It was perfect. It was fucking amazing.
Yeah, okay. No,
Probably,
yeah.
probably
I
some
remember.
great indie rock song playing in the background that Zach Braff liked.
Yep, pretty much. I think it was that one guy that he was actually in an episode of Scrubs
Mm-hmm.
that he was
Yeah, I know what you're
singing.
talking about. He was walking down the street playing the guitar.
Yeah. Yep, it was him.
Yeah.
It was one
Wow.
of his songs.
Yeah.
Call me TLC because I ain't got no Scrubs.
Okay.
Oh, I see what he did there. Okay.
So Aaron, you've started Horror Dork again, huh?
Yeah. Yep, we're doing an episode tomorrow morning.
What's this one?
You start. Wait.
We're
you
going to be
started-
doing.
I was gonna say you started with a bang. You went from like 45-minute episodes to a 2-hour episode. I was like, damn.
Yeah. We had major technical issues with the first one where we tried to come back. So the next one we just kind of like I got there early. I'm going to be doing that tomorrow too, getting everything set up and So Anthony just worries about all the tech stuff. We're going to be doing, supposedly, everything it might change tomorrow morning, depending on technology and whatever. But we're supposed to have clips and stuff being played in our for the show. So hopefully that'll be starting tomorrow. We're going to be doing. We started doing the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies. So we just did the first one. We're doing part 2 tomorrow.
And then you're going to
So-
watch a bunch of shit.
A bunch of really
Basically,
bad
that's it.
movies. Well,
Besides
some
the-
of them,
the-
some of
The remake and the prequel to the remake were decent, but other than that, you're just watching shit.
there's, some of them are worse than others. Like there's entertainment value in the Next Generation. That one has Matthew McConaughey and Renee Zellweger in it.
Yeah.
That one's kind of fun. And then there's a bunch of really fucking shitty ass ones. The last one I thought was all right. There's a couple
Netflix
of them
one?
I don't think I've seen. The Netflix one. That one would have been better if it wasn't called the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Honestly, I think people would have probably liked that one.
It had decent
That one had some
gore, but other than that, the movie sucked
the
ass.
kills of that movie were were crazy. I
Was
I
that the
thought
one where they
kills
were-
of the movie were good.
Is that the one where they were stuck in like the little town or whatever?
Yes.
Yes,
On the bus
and the
and
party,
shit?
the party bus shows
Yeah.
up, and Leatherface just
Yeah.
cuts the chainsaw on and just runs them all through.
Yeah,
They-
that
and
was.
they
I
said
didn't
they were
don't even
going to
consider
cancel
that a
him.
Texas. That's not even a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie to me.
No,
It
it's
was so
not.
weird.
Like we
It's
kind of
like,
we kind of talk about about that in the our last episode. In that for it to be a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, it kind of has to have the group dynamic. There's
Family.
got to be like
yeah.
yes, there's got to be like the normal guy that's like the face that can like interact with the public and stuff. Then there's usually like the unhinged one. In the first one, there's the hitchhiker. In the second one, it's Chop Top, obviously.
Yeah.
It's got to have that dynamic. If it's just Leatherface, it's kind of boring, honestly, and it's not really.
Yeah.
It's not really that. It's just like a basic
It
run of
becomes
the mill
like
slasher.
yeah, I was gonna say it becomes like every other slasher.
Slasher, yeah, and there's a huge. I didn't get into this argument. My co-host did about what makes a slasher a slasher. It went on way too long, but it was an interesting conversation. I was just kind of stuck in the middle of it because I didn't really side with either one of them.
So, what makes a slasher
yeah.
a slasher?
Not in an hour
A
and
slasher.
I don't know. Like there's a couple elements. Like one, it's gotta have. There's like a certain vibe it's gotta have. The killer's got to be like on
Nice.
screen, like killing people. Like and if it's like a thing where it's like a hidden identity, like My Bloody Valentine or Scream. He's like got a mask on and stuff, but you can see the person kill. Usually, like what Anthony and Golden were arguing about was movies like Friday the 13th, where it's all POV, versus like the later ones where it's Jason and you see him doing all the killing and everything. And those are like solidly slashers. And I kind of argued
Yeah.
like the slasher movies are like the first Friday the 13th movie, even though it was released in 1980, I think, or 81, it's got more of a feel of a 70s movie. From like part 2 onwards, those are like solidly like 80s movies. And I think like slashers are more of an 80s thing.
Yeah.
Halloween obviously is like the first like cited slasher movie or whatever, but that one is more of like a showing of what's to come. That does have more of like
See, like to
it's
me,
ahead
like
of its time in that.
to me, like a slasher is just like where like the killing is like just obviously the main event, and like the story like is it don't kind of
Yeah.
fucking matter.
And it has
And,
to
that-
have
and
a
that- and that's okay
certain-
because you're just there for the fucking kills anyway.
Yep.
As to where I kind of think like I maybe
it has
kind of
a
disagree with
certain amount
Halloween.
of cheese to it.
I think Halloween like kind of had a little bit too much story to be considered a slasher. But is
Like-
Halloween always considered a slasher? Is that
I mean,
It's
to me-
considered like the first like the modern like proto slasher. That and Black Christmas
I would
are
say
like the
that
two that are
Well,
most hyped.
It's funny that you say when you were going back to Black Christmas, because I was just thinking that. I never thought about it that way when you said the first Friday 13th was more like a 70s movie because it's the point of view, and I thought that was more reminiscent because I know Black Christmas sometimes they say is the first slasher.
Right.
I think that falls more in line with the first Friday the 13th, whereas
I agree with
Halloween
you. Right.
is like the prototype almost for what a slasher would become, where you actually physically see the killer kill.
Murdering.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was it was a good point. I never, now that you say that, when you mention Black Christmas, the whole point of view where you're not actually, you're seeing it from the person's eyes, but not actually seeing the person perpetrating.
Yeah, that's like that's a staple of like European horror movies, like Giallo, like the Dario Argento movies and stuff. Those are like a staple of like those kinds of movies, and those are like solidly 70s movies. That's like the style of that kind of horror.
I love
But
dark
the 80s is more like in your face stuff, and I'm pretty excited to talk about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2 after, because I haven't watched it in a couple years, and rewatching it is like, yeah, this movie is definitely an 80s movie for sure. Like in the first one, it's all like it's all up to your imagination for the most part. In this one, it's just like body parts hanging off of hooks. The house they're in is like the Nothing But Trouble house. It's just insane, crazy gore effects. Tom Savini worked on it,
It's a
so the
fucking
gore effects are all insane and
Nice.
shit. So yeah, I'm excited, and I did a little more research than I typically do for these episodes. I actually listened to a couple of the Chop Top and Buckethead albums, Corn Bugs. They put out a couple albums in the early 2000s. It's Bill Moseley as Chop Top, just rambling of poetry that he wrote with Buckethead just shredding.
That
I have
sounds
a couple of. It is pretty. It's honest. I didn't like it when I first heard it forever ago when I downloaded it off Napster, because I didn't really. I wasn't kind of into that kind of music. Now I listen to it and I'm like, yeah, this kind of rips. So I actually wrote down a couple of songs to that I'm going to recommend as well.
If Buckethead ever comes to your town, go fucking see him. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
He's so entertaining.
Speaking of which,
Yeah, that would be definitely something I'd want to see.
It doesn't matter
Yeah,
like if you
I
know
haven't
Buckethead
seen him.
material or not. Just it's mind blowing to just watch that guy do what he fucking does. It's awesome. I've seen him a few times.
I was going to say before we
I
get
need to
into,
see him.
I think talking about music I mean, I think it's a good segue into
Yeah.
our next topic of conversation. But before we move on to that, I do want to ask, whatever happened to your Marvel podcast, Aaron?
We both got extremely burnt out of Marvel at like the exact same time. Like that was just like pure Marvel oversaturation at that point. Like Quantumania had come out, and while Anthony and I both liked the movie, we were like kind of hard pressed to be extremely positive about it. And
there's really not much to say.
what there's not much to say anymore because
What are you going to talk about? You're just going to sound like every other person that talks
If-
about
if-
fucking Marvel.
honestly, this is what I wanted to continue it and just do comic books, because while I didn't really care too much about, I wasn't as passionate about like the movies and TV shows. I was still extremely and still am extremely passionate about the comic books. I read them like every week. I have Marvel Unlimited, and I'll pop on there and check out like a couple issues here and there. But Anthony he was like, you know what? How would you feel about bringing back Horror Dork? And he's like, dude, whatever you want to do is 100% fine with me. I have not stopped watching horror movies since we stopped doing Horror Dork, so I'm down to get back into that anytime. So,
And I just want to say, I wasn't calling you. I was just asking. you seriously.
no.
That's the way
I
I
get-
thought it was going to go. More like I'm
I've had-
really not into comics all that much. I thought it was going to be more focused on not just the movie.
He wanted. He wanted to. His focus was more on what was going to get more views and more listeners, and that was going to be like the TV shows and recaps and stuff.
Brandon.
And
It is possible for us to bring it back in the future. That's not off the table.
What about
We
Back
have
to the
talked
Future?
about-
Scott.
yeah,
We-
I enjoyed listening to
Brandon,
even
I
though
don't
didn't
think
know
it was
the
really
damn thing.
worth you going off screen for that, because
Were
all
you
your
supposed to go off screen for that? I thought you were supposed to go off screen
Dude,
for that. Is
your screen filled with smoke the moment you did it. Didn't fucking matter.
Yeah. It was just like off screen, just like oof.
I was like,
It's
oh, I
okay,
wonder what
it's
Brandon's
not-
doing.
Right.
It's not made for kids, so it's okay.
Just
Yeah,
got his
it's for-
shoulder
it's
in
not
the
Is
for
it
kids.
screen.
okay? Like, is it?
I don't
is it
know. I
okay?
don't. Who cares? Like, it's legal in your
Okay.
state.
All right, word.
Right.
It's a cigarette anyway, so who cares?
Speaking of comic books, that can relate to manga, right?
Sure.
I've been reading Sailor Moon books here lately, and I've really been enjoying them. They're
How
really
sticky are
fucking
those
good.
pages?
I don't. I've got them all from the library, but no, they've all been good. No sticky
That's
ones.
good. I'm glad to hear it.
No, Aaron, I want your reaction
you-
on that because I think you gave like a good positive reaction there.
Yeah. Did you ever watch the anime?
I've never seen it. No, this is like
Damn.
totally my introduction into it.
I
I'm
like
on,
the-
I'm on book
I was-
6 of 12.
The Sailor Moon anime I would watch because it would come on before school, so I'd watch it, and the original Dragon Ball anime as well.
Yeah,
We'd
we
watch
watched that
as
like
well. So I-
super early Saturday mornings in the early 90s.
I did not
6
realize.
a.m.
And
We
it
were
took
up.
me a couple years to realize that show was related to Dragon Ball Z. Like I didn't.
Dragon Ball.
I watched Dragon Ball. Yeah, we watched Dragon Ball. I didn't realize what it was like that when we watched Dragon Ball Z. I didn't quite get that was like adult the kid or whatever. Not right away, I guess.
Aaron
but-
wasn't the brightest child.
Oh,
yeah.
the kid.
Shut up.
That's another one. Another one of my
but
fall
no,
asleep shows.
it's,
is Dragon Ball Z.
What
I
one of
like
your
Sailor
what?
Moon.
Another one of my fall asleep shows. Fall asleep to shows.
You've been
is
falling
Dragon
asleep to
Ball.
Dragon Ball Z. You and Ollie are one and the same, man.
Hell yeah.
I got him
You
into
listened
Dragon
to,
Ball
like,
about a year ago.
25 minutes of shit talking.
There's a few movies that I had him
Sailor
watch
Moon
and he
books
loved
are
it.
really cool. I like
Yeah.
them a lot.
I've watched
they're
so
fun.
much Dragon Ball, and I am not mad about it. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
All right,
I
so much
watched
for segueing
all of
into
it
the
in
music.
Japanese once. I went through the whole thing and watched the whole series in
What did you
Japanese.
make about the Dragon
Have
Ball
you-
Z soundtrack?
Have you guys watched
version?
Sailor Moon in Japanese or with the
No.
English dub?
We
was
watched it
English
as
dub.
kids with the English dub.
It was the four
on
kids
Fox.
dub.
Yeah, it was. Well, I don't even think it was 4 kids at that point. Whatever it was in like 1993. It was like early
Funimation or
morning
whatever.
shit. Yeah.
I found it on Pluto TV, but I think the only option they have is Japanese on Pluto TV. So I might need to
Weird.
find it somewhere
There's
else.
probably some weird
Although I
think it's on
distribution
Hulu.
shit.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't know that I'm opposed to Japanese, but I don't know. I'd probably,
Having
pretty
to read
racist
it all
if
the
you were.
time, it's kind of annoying.
yeah.
But
I don't know.
Tuxedo Mask is the dude.
I couldn't believe how similar the books are to the story in Persona 5. It's
really?
very, very similar. It's super fucking similar, yeah.
did you beat
Persona
that game?
5's
What?
Did you beat Persona 5? Isn't that like
Hell
100
no, I
something
didn't.
hours long or
No.
some shit?
Of course I didn't.
That's
Yeah,
so
it is
long.
awesome.
I just
Of course
I
I
just
did not
started
beat it, no.
the Persona 3 remake.
I put a decent amount of time into it for how much I put into games nowadays. But yeah,
Yeah.
the story is super similar as far as Sailor Moon and Persona 5 goes. Yeah. And now let's talk about music.
Sure.
Sweetie.
There we go.
Brandon, you've got like a ton of concerts coming up this entire year, and this is just like the beginning of the year when things are getting announced, and you have like
Yeah.
a whole notepad full of shit. What's your highlight you think for this year so far?
Let me pull that
What's
up. Real quick so I
what's
can
number
tell you for sure.
one that you're looking
So I
forward
make
to?
I make a notepad that you're referring to for all of our listeners out there
Who
because I
are
don't
in
like
our
a
Discord.
calendar because a calendar to me, like, then I'd have to click on every day. So I like to have just like a list of everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I do not make it to everything by any means. Some things I can't go because something else is going on. Some I just can't afford it and don't go or whatever.
Yeah.
But as a concert gets announced, I add it to this list just to kind of have it going. The next one that's on my list is Go Ahead and Die, which is a Max Cavalera
Mhm.
side project band. That's in Columbus. I don't know that I'll take the whole trip to go because I don't know any Go Ahead and Die songs.
Yeah.
But the next
Yeah.
one up after that is at the beginning of March is Psycho Stick. And I'm not a big Psycho Stick fan, but I've always gone to them because Taggart likes to go to them a lot, and they're really fun concerts.
They seem like they'd be
And
fun.
It's really
Yeah.
cool. All the people there are always super nice. It's always a really good show. It's the same exact crowd that's at a Green Jello show.
I was gonna
So-
say it seemed like it would
Yep.
be.
so they overlap there, and it's just a fun fucking show. Their bass player is a juggalo. He's got a Hatchet Man on his bass. He's always wearing like a Dark Lotus shirt or something, and I think that's cool. So he has now been announced that he's leaving the band. So the Columbus show on the tour is like his like last hurrah. So
Oh,
I'm like, that'll
damn.
be fucking fun to like be there for like the guy in the band that I like the most, his last show. So that'll be fun.
You better
So
bring
that's-
him a Fago.
Yeah, I will bring him a Fago.
And you give him a
Other
Whoop.
than that, I think the one that's coming up that I'm most looking forward to is Social D and Bad Religion,
Oh,
because I got a whole lot of friends that are going to that. That's a big Dad Skate Squad show.
it's definitely
and then, like,
Dad
every-
Punk.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
So, but then like every like other friend I have, like I've got into Social D over the years. So like every friend I have wants to go to that show. So I'm really looking forward to that one. There's so many shows I go to by myself. If I can have like a group of friends at a show, that's fucking great.
Yeah. I've gone to a ton solo, so I know. Yeah, when you
Yeah.
have a whole group of people, it's fun as hell.
It is fun, and I love going by myself too. Of course, I'd always rather have somebody with me, but I won't miss out on a show just because I can't get somebody else to go with
Nope.
me. That's all there is.
Yeah, when you have
Yeah.
kids, sometimes you just have to go by yourself if you're gonna go
Mhm.
at all.
Yeah, and like
Yeah.
all of us listen to like not fucking normal popular music.
Nope.
So like sometimes like you're like, hey, you
Oh.
want to fucking go to a concert where like the band fucking bleeds on you and fucking spray shit on you all night long, and everybody's like, no, that most
Yeah.
people are like, no, that sounds fucking stupid. So sometimes it's hard to find a friend to go with you.
I have resulted to never telling anyone who I'm going that I'm going to a concert anymore that that I work with. Like I don't even tell them anymore because when they'd be like, "Oh, who are you going to see?" I'm like, "You don't know who they are. I don't want to have to go
Yeah.
tell you the name and
Yeah.
you just look at me like a
Yeah.
deer in headlights and me have to explain
Yeah.
to you what it is." I'm like, "It's not worth it. Just
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you anything."
They're like, "You
Except
like the
except
band?"
that
I'm
I'm
like,
going to a
"I don't."
concert.
Yeah, I don't even tell them that
Yeah.
because then the questions
Yeah.
come that I don't feel like answering because they don't understand. They just don't understand.
People at
me.
my job, they have like no choice but to like somewhat be educated on the music that I'm going to go see. Like if I'm going to go see Cattle Decapitation tomorrow night, I play them on my radio at work for like 3 days building up to that. So like potentially everybody, customers included in my restaurant, are listening to Cattle Decapitation, not just the kitchen itself, because we turn it up so fucking loud that you can hear it in the fucking restaurant. So
Do people complain?
I have never had a fucking complaint.
Oh, that's good.
I've never had a complaint. There's one other dude that I work with, another cook that I work with, Landon. He's also a metalhead, but not the metal I'm into. He's huge into like Motionless in White
Oh,
and Ice Nine Kills. Like that's
Nah,
his like
yeah.
two like main one. I know.
oof.
I'm not into.
They got one good song.
I know.
They got
No,
the one that's about Silent Night, Deadly Night. That's
No,
a good song.
yeah,
I don't-
okay.
I don't ever want to hear it ever again in my entire
Wow,
fucking
they
life.
suck.
But
They're
whatever.
so
But I
bad.
appreciate that he's a metalhead. We're,
Yep.
we're different.
That's the only
metalheads,
one
but
that's the
appreciate
only
that.
one I listen to.
So he is the only one that I'm aware of that has had a complaint on music because he turns his up probably a little louder than I turn mine up.
Oh, brother.
And that music is obviously just no one wants to fucking hear that shit. But I've been putting Lorna Shore in the mix here lately because he likes them as well, and I know
Yeah.
that's one Scott had mentioned before.
Yeah, they're
But I
great.
put all kinds of stupid shit in the mix, and it
Lorna
gets
Shore
fucking
rips.
turned up, and the whole fucking restaurant listens to it.
Hell yeah. Well, we don't get anything anymore. This year has been like a
Nope.
desolation
Nope.
for Western
Terrible.
New York. Literally,
The only
like
thing-
I see so many tours being announced for like the last month. Not one is coming here. That's insane.
It sucks,
Yeah.
man.
I don't know what
I said that
happened.
for so long, and then I guess it's kind of turned around for us because now I have a huge list of shit.
Oh, that's
But
great.
I've also listened to more shit than I ever did before, so
Mhm.
I'm not only looking for metal shows, or I'm not only looking for whatever the fuck. But
We
I
don't
think
have
the
a metal
only
scene
two
here.
shows that I want to really the Twisted, I guess, show that's coming up, and then Death
Yeah.
Clock.
Honestly, I would
I
go
do
see
wanna-
Twisted.
yeah, Twisted's coming to town, and I plan on going. Like, there's a couple friends that I think I'll be able to get together for that, for the old nostalgia part of it, and the fact that they're playing Green Book in full is the only selling point there. Because I
Definitely
don't
would
have to
wanna
listen
see
to the new
that.
shit. But I love Green Book. That was a good album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're coming with the Green Book tour to PA anywhere. But that's the only psychopathic act I've never seen a Twist headline show aside
Really?
from I saw the Black Rain tour. That was is the most I've got of I've never seen Twisted live. And I missed out the other year. They were at Too Many Games in Philly, and I didn't go. I went to that one time, and I should have went. I mean, that's fairly close. It's only like
It's crazy
15.
it's crazy the size venue that they're playing here in Cincinnati. They're playing Bogarts, which is the place that like ICP used to play like during their heyday in like the late 90s and early 2000s. But ICP is not big enough to continue to play at Bogarts here. When they come to town now, they're at considerably smaller
Yep.
places. But Twisted
You
is
should
Green
have
Book
seen the.
tour is at Bogarts, so it's at the
Yeah.
bigger small venue for sure.
You should have seen the venue that Shaggy did his solo show at that I went to.
Oh, yeah.
This place was like the tiniest bar.
You
It was so
should-
Yeah,
small.
it's here in Rochester. The
place I
Montage.
saw-
It's a terrible place.
The place I saw ICP at the
Good metal
last
place.
time, it was like the 20s, maybe 25 anniversary of Malenko, where they played it in full. It was literally in a fucking strip mall next to fucking Play It Again Sports. And it was,
God damn.
What?
I swear to fucking God.
No
Yeah.
way.
I swear to
For
fucking
great
God.
for great Malenko too. You would think that they would
swear to
pull
God.
out the stops for that one. You know.
They played in a fucking strip mall in
That's
Fieldsboro, in
crazy.
Cincinnati, next to a fucking Play It Again, between a Play It Again Sports and like a gym, one of those gyms.
One of the
Now,
last tours before before COVID, when ICP was still touring, they came to Rochester. I didn't go, but they played at some tiny little beach bar on like a lake or near Rochester. It wasn't even a venue I'd ever heard of before. It was just a bar with a outside venue.
I know where that is. Holy crap! They played there.
Yeah, they played in like some tiny little fucking nothing place. Like I couldn't believe
That's
it.
That's so crazy. I thought I didn't know that they weren't booking like bigger venues like that. I guess I hadn't seen them. I saw them in 2014 in Philly. They were at a pretty decently sized place.
But
But
Where were they?
How many
This is
people do you think
Fearless
go to the
Fred years.
gathering nowadays?
that was a while ago.
how
What's
many
that?
are going to the gathering? Is that what you
I
said?
see a decent amount of comments talking about like the gathering. Nobody's buying gathering tickets. Like it's not selling whatsoever.
I don't think.
And that's probably just bullshit internet comments. But
I mean, if you're comparing to 20 years
they
ago,
still get-
I'm sure you can say
The-
like it used to be probably like 10,000. Now it's like probably like
Yeah.
3,000.
Well,
It's
wait,
still
they aren't-
like a decent amount
They
of people.
they aren't booking the kind of acts that they used to. Like they used to
They're
get like
not.
Ice Cube and shit.
Yeah, because
You
they
get
make
to-
no
When we
money.
went, they had like
You used to get to
they had
see,
old
like,
lady
the real-
bastard.
you used to get to see like for real hip hop acts,
Mhm.
like acts along with
And now
the
it-
gathering.
Now it's
There's
like the
some-
horrorcore reject guys. Like
Yeah.
Don't
They
get
have
me
some
wrong.
old school people there. They had KRS-One and shit, but
Like I can
still.
say, like I saw like 3-6 Mafia and shit like that at the gathering.
Yeah.
And like they don't get shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Toledo. They
We-
were at Toledo. 3-6
Yeah.
Mafia, Bone,
Yeah.
Vanilla Ice.
Yeah,
They
they had
know
Bone
Ice.
Thugs when we went. They had Vanilla Ice with he had like the full band, which was really cool.
old dirty
Yeah.
bastard.
And ODB was there.
Because
Yeah.
and Vanilla
I
Ice
can
got-
say I
Van-
saw ODB thanks to the fucking gathering
Yep.
for sure.
yeah,
Not too
Right.
long before he
Vanilla
died,
Ice was
too.
on before him. Yeah, Vanilla Ice was on before him, and he had to play like an extra long set. He had to vamp. He like 5 extra songs because ODB was extremely late. He
didn't
showed
know
up, and
much
then
about
when
it.
ODB showed up, he was so like he was like that was Vanilla Ice, and he was just laughing about how Vanilla Ice was on before him, and he's like couldn't believe that Vanilla Ice was there. It was
Yeah.
really
I want to
funny.
go back. I want to go back when we were talking about like the smaller places that ICP are playing.
I saw him
No.
at a place called Top Cats. You know where that place is, Brandon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what is that a choice they're making, or are they struggling to find booking? And the only reason I asked the question like that is because now more than ever they seem to be more mainstream. If you
Yeah,
will.
they
Yeah.
become okay.
Yeah,
Here,
they
I got
definitely.
another ICP.
Well, you got to think
There's
this.
another ICP
What we're
band.
talking about is probably around the time that they were dropping like their middle second deck Joker's cards, and nobody remembers or gives a shit about. So I think their popularity kind of dipped. I don't know if they have the choice. I mean, they probably can say we're only doing like small venue tours, but I would imagine they're probably
They
trying
also-
to get the most amount of people that they can. So it's more than likely the booking agents and the promoters around here saying this is what we think you're gonna fill. I don't think you're gonna do much more than that around here.
You also got to remember that they also spray pop all over the fucking
Yeah.
place in their shows,
Yeah.
and
Nobody
some
wants that.
venues are probably
Yeah.
not
Well-
cool about that doing
Well,
that
yeah.
anymore.
Well, that and ICP has to pay for that shit. Like I think they pay people to clean that up. So
They do.
imagine
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
that
yeah,
They charge
budget.
a premium for that. But my rebuttal to that is that Twisted in town now is still playing this Bogart's place. ICP used to play the Bogart's
Yep.
place. Guar does still play the Bogart's place. So
Yeah.
yeah, Guar does still play. So
Yeah.
Guar does
allow
bigger
Guar,
venues.
They do for sure. You're right.
Yeah.
But as far as the size of that little shitty strip mall venue I saw him at, the place was fucking packed. It was shoulder to shoulder fucking packed. And to be honest, I'd rather it be that than to be in a place that was larger and everybody was spread out, because it adds to the fun of being fucking packed in there.
Yeah.
To me, at
That's
least.
true.
I mean, maybe they.
I'd rather it be a packed small venue than like everybody like standing around and like not like I don't know. I prefer a packed venue.
And I agree with that. And I mean, Aaron Scott, I'm not sure if you're familiar with when I used to catch ICP by myself. Was it Croc Rock in Allentown? I don't know if you've ever been there for any shows when it was. It's not
No.
around anymore.
I don't know if I've actually gone to
but it was
Allentown.
small. The front part was a pizza place, because I remember, I forget
Okay.
if I was there to see ICP or somebody else, but I remember I got there early for the show and I sat at the bar, ate a piece of pizza, and Head PE was opening that night, because I remember
Fuck yeah.
Jared.
Oh, yeah.
he walked
I saw
through
them
the,
at
you know,
Bogart's.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
But
Me too.
but it was a smaller venue, because I remember I went to see the Bang Pow Boom thing, and they had like the smoke and everything. It was too much. I had to actually open the windows to the place to let it all out, because it was completely smoky in there. And I think that's good in, you know, the intimate setting, I guess, if you will. But just in terms of now, my thoughts. I'm just gonna throw this out there. I know they're brothers, Violent J and Shaggy 2 Dope, but to me it seems like they're not the same. Like, I think they can stand alone at this moment in time.
Well, they have been.
It seems like Jay's just
Shaggy's
I
off
don't-
doing his own thing,
and loving
and
it.
why is that? And like, why is that? Why is Shaggy not being included in any ICP things right now, or anything Violent J is doing right now?
They're
At
just
one
kinda
point, they
doing
were
their own
like, "We're not
thing.
gonna." It was just weird the way it all worked out. It was Jay's saying, I've got health issues. I can't keep fucking doing this. We're going to do a fucking farewell tour. And then they haven't done anything together since. Shaggy's been
No,
going
you're right.
solo. Jay's been going and fucking wrestling and shit. They've done the
Moonsault.
main shows. Like, they've done the Gathering and the Hallowickeds and shit like that. But, like, why is it that they're, like, not together anymore? But let me throw this in there, too, real quick. Today I went to... Me and the whole family, we had a bunch of us that went today to a thing that was called Vintage Rad Fest, and it was like a
Vintage
it was
rad stuff.
it was most I didn't know this going into it. It was mostly clothing. It was like 95% like old vintage clothes, like fancy flea market, like old concert tees or old. It was. I thought there'd be like more video games and toys and shit is what I was going for. I'm not so much of a clothes guy. But what I'm getting at here is there was a bunch of ICP shit there. At one point I saw the old Beanie Boys that were $60.
Oh, cool.
There was the old like the super popular from like the House of Horrors 98 where there was the dreadlock shirts, there was one Jay and there was one Shaggy. There was the Shaggy shirt, it was $100 fucking. I saw
Damn.
I'm sorry, Jekyll Brothers hockey jersey, $350.
Holy fuck.
Jesus.
It's crazy to see. It's crazy to see
Dude.
ICP in a scene like that because it was basically just like a expensive ass thrift store.
Vintage shirts, it doesn't matter as long as they're like in good quality. It doesn't really matter what they are.
I saw an
I went to
$850 Metallica shirt.
Dude,
Gross.
I wanted to buy a Spawn T-shirt that I had when I was growing up. It's a double-sided thing, and the front of it is like big red Spawn face without his mask, and it said "The Streets Run Red," and the back has got the Spawn logo. I wanted to. I was like, I want to get this because now when I'm an adult. I have adult money. I want to get this.
Now I'm an adult. I want to watch a
a
shirt,
It is-
wear a shirt I wore as a
It
kid.
was,
That's what.
it was
all of us-
Hell yeah.
300 fucking dollars for that on like eBay and Mercari.
Yeah, fuck
I
that.
couldn't believe it.
I walked through this whole
Yeah.
fucking place thinking like that's a cool shirt, and it was like 100. Most band shirts were $100 to $150. That
That's
was the
crazy.
average price. I saw an $800 Metallica shirt, which was
Jesus Christ.
which was a super fucking cool Metallica shirt that like everybody had when I was a kid though.
What was it? Which one was it?
It had like there was 4 different scenes. One was the Damage Inc. scene. One I think was like a Wherever I May Roam thing. I could look it up and show it to you, but it was a very popular shirt, like mid to late 90s.
Well, I just want to bring.
But
Sorry,
everything was so damn expensive. It was crazy. I forgot where I was going.
Mm.
Yeah, we kind of veered off. I'm just going back to the whole, not saying that there's
Back to ICP.
yeah, no, well, because that was the conversation.
Yeah.
with spurring this, not saying that there's dissension in the group, but
No,
I just want to throw out.
Juggalo.
I don't think so.
Do you think, because they don't want to not humble themselves? I don't. That might not be the right word, but in terms of this whole twisted thing, do you think that's? I think that's hurt them in the long run, like their stance on being
Big time.
Yeah,
like I think Twisted's gone out of their way to try and say, look, we want to try and regardless of what happened behind the scenes. I know there's
I don't
a
know.
lot involved that we don't
Yeah, but
see, but
I'll get back to you after the Twisted show and tell you, even though it's at the big venue, that doesn't guarantee there's going to be a bunch of fucking people there.
yeah.
Yeah.
After
Right.
the show,
mean,
I'll get back
that's
to you.
where-
And my guess is come back and say there was nobody fucking there. But maybe not, because it's the old school thing. It's going to attract the old school guys. It'll bring somebody
Yeah.
like me out that wouldn't normally come out.
That's true.
my
It's the green
only-
bug.
I don't
like I
think
said, my
what. I just want to point out. I don't think MNE has anybody that is bringing in like new fans. They're all
No.
old heads that used to listen to those guys. ICP, say what you will about Ouija Mac, he's bringing in new fucking people, new juggalos, and he's bringing in new fans. Whether or not you like his music, which I mostly don't, especially his
Fuck
new
no.
album. I thought it sucked ass, but he's bringing. They have a different like they're branching out in ways that MME isn't. They're kind of stuck in like the old school Juggalo phase, but they do make. I prefer the MNE music over PSY.
And I guess that's what I'm saying. Like, pull back from the ICP, the ICP brand, if you will, in terms of label. What I guess what I'm getting at is, yes, we have Ouija Mac, who is, I guess he's signed to Psychopath.
No,
like that,
he
I'm
has
not
his
even
own
sure.
label that's I think maybe
I know
kind
he
of
runs his own
affiliated,
label.
but he was on
He
Psychopathic.
puts out he is on Psychopathic. He does have
No.
albums that he puts out with them. But he
thing I-
does
the
have his
thing I-
own indie label that he puts out a lot of other shit on.
He has
The thing
Chapter
I read-
17.
The thing
Yeah.
I read said that
But he has his own artists and stuff.
Psychopathic is no longer putting out anything other than ICP
that's right.
records.
okay.
Anything
They're not
else
signing
other
any
than that,
other. Yeah.
it's like a sub thing, it's like a console, it's like a working with thing or whatever. But they said Psychopathic is only ICP records.
I believe they said that
And
at the gathering.
I guess I'm not following the news as much anymore.
I
It's-
just saw that
it was a seminar.
that I didn't know about, so okay.
And that's exactly where I was going with this. Is their decision, ICPs, to do, because ultimately they're the ones who hold that card, to focus exclusively on themselves, which is fine, but is that hurting them in the long run and Psychopathic as a label? Because you're not willing to.
Sorry.
I think
work-
they got old,
No,
and
I
at
don't
this
think so.
point, I think they got old, and at this point, they're like, you know, the whole Twisted thing ended up being a whole bunch of fucking drama. We don't
Yep.
need all the extra bullshit. Like, this is our fucking thing. This is Violent J's fucking
Yeah.
thing.
Not only
And-
that, but
Why bother with all the extra shit? It's kind of more popular now than it's ever been.
It is
more
funny that-
accepted
Yeah,
now.
but not
Like,
only that, but there's also the fact that they're not paying for these artists that I mean the one that did the numbers with them was Twisted. The only other one who did numbers was probably Twisted. Everyone else probably they were just kind of everyone else is just kind of living off
Ouija
of
Mac is honestly
ICP
probably-
and Twisted success. And that's why they were still signed, but after after they
it was-
lost
it was
they
ICP,
lost
and then it was
Twisted.
and then like ABK and
Yeah.
Blaze was like way
Yeah.
the fuck down here.
And
So
after
Yeah.
they lost
So,
them, then you see they're like kind of it's hard to carry those, and then they all left anyway. And went
Well,
to
they
M&E.
literally like
so, and then
They kinda
they signed
split the
2 new
fan
people.
base
They had
in half.
Light and they had Ouija Mac that they signed, and I'm
Trash.
sure they did not do.
Big Hoodoo.
Oh, Big Hoodoo was
also trash.
Also, people that just did no fucking numbers comparatively to
and-
ICP. So why put the money into them?
They
Just
did.
focus on
No, they
themselves.
didn't. They were bad.
Yeah.
But
we're
Those
putting
albums
Schooler-
are garbage.
We're
with
putting Schooler to sleep, people. Schooler is sleeping.
He was
We're
already
talking about it.
his eyes were barely
No.
open when we started. He was
That's-
high
Oh,
as shit.
Yeah, I've been high the whole time.
I got one look at him. I was like, this dude's fucking baked out of his head right now before we even started.
I just wanted to make sure that I mentioned it's for the people that aren't just watching. for the
We're
people that
rambling
are
about
listening.
ICP.
Real
I also
quick,
don't
real
think
quick.
that ICP not accepting Twisted is hurting them either, just because I don't know. The
100%.
ICP
No, 100%.
also extended their hands a million times despite the shit and the Twisted turned their backs. Not that I give a fuck. I'm just saying is like they're part of the problem too.
Well, what? No, I agree. Everybody's fault here. I disagree with that in terms of ICP extend their hand. Once Young Wicked,
Well, that
And-
after that they didn't have to do shit. They should have slapped them across
Right.
the face. That was some bullshit.
I guess what because I have to take a piss real quick. But my final point with it, and not in terms of it hurting ICP necessarily in terms of fan base,
Oh, okay. I'm
but
sorry.
with what I'm talking about is like with their we'll say release schedule. We're promised a whole another
Yeah.
deck of Joker card, right? That's what I'm saying. Like,
What are they doing?
Well, in my listen,
like it seems like it's just kind of
You're the
nobody
idiot for
wants that
believing
shit.
it. You're the idiot for believing.
Here,
that
here's
they put
my
out the shit
here.
that they
I've already had a
That's
lot of
not
thoughts
happening.
about this. They're 50 years old. They started out young as shit. They had an entire They had an idea. They had 6 albums they knew they were going to make, and they were hungry
It's
as fuck, and they
insane
were
that you
young.
don't
They've
And they had
basically been
this
making
idea.
music the entire time I've been alive.
They slowed down because they're getting older and they burned out all their ideas. They shot their load in their first 10 years of their label. They had to start another deck, and then they've kind of been floundering since because what the fuck can
yeah.
you do?
I promise
done
you, they did not
super-
expect to be doing it this long.
No, they didn't think they were
No.
going to have to do more Joker's cards, but they knew they had nothing
Absolutely not.
else. That's it.
What
I'll
they've done is super
I
respectful.
fucked with the Tempest. I thought that was a good album.
For it to be an indie label ran by a bunch of fucking people that absolutely know nothing about running a fucking business is super fucking respectable.
Yeah.
Like if you want to just talk about like an
Yes.
insanely cool success story of a bunch of
No.
fucking idiots running a fucking
Yeah,
successful
absolutely.
business, that's it. And I think that's cool. And sometimes they don't get enough credit
There,
for that. shit.
yeah, there was absolutely no hate. I
For me,
respect everything that they were saying. That they've been doing. It's just, I just think that they
I don't like
shot
their
their
music
creative.
anymore.
No, they shot their creative juices, and they don't really know what the fuck else
I
to do.
agree.
And that's the case with most people. Like, I mean, most people don't put out if they've been around for 30 years. No, most of those bands didn't put out quality material for 30 years.
Yeah,
They put it out for 10 years, and they fucking just continued to write it out.
And who-
That's
and who the fuck are
100%
we to
wrong.
say anything?
Hold on.
Look
Hold
at
on.
We
Metallica.
We start something, we stop something, we take 18-year breaks in between, and then fucking here
great.
we are again.
that's to build up the anticipation.
Let me put a pin in this. I'm gonna go take a leak, and we'll come back and we'll finish this out, and we'll
We're
close out
gonna
the
Sounds
episode.
like, yeah, we should probably stop soon anyway. It's 11
Yeah.
o'clock, and I'm old.
Let me put a pin in that.
Yeah.
Talk
There
amongst
was a
yourself.
point-
I got.
Yeah.
I'm gonna dip out because I got to be up at 5:30 to
Oh, yeah.
record
Oh, Jesus
my
Christ.
podcast.
Yeah,
So,
go to bed, dude. It's so late.
so I will. It was nice potting with you guys. I wasn't sure if I was gonna dip in, but I didn't have anything better to do. So
Hey, that's
Yeah.
why we're here
Cool.
it was
too.
nice. Thanks for having me on. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Make sure you check out Horror Dork. We'll be if you're up at 8 o'clock, we'll be
I
on
will
YouTube
not be.
Live and Facebook Live, but you can pop on and comment and stuff, and we'll reply to you or whatever.
My
But,
kid might wake me
have a
up,
good
but
night,
I'm
guys.
not gonna get up.
I'm glad you stopped by, man. Thanks for stopping by.
Bye.
Good night, guys.
All right. Easy.
Oh shit, I'm out of beers.
Oh man, Gold. It seems like now's the time if you want to go grab another one.
I have my
not.
whiskey. I'm just gonna
Right
drink
on.
that. So,
All right, I was earlier thinking about sending a message to the group saying like let's wrap this thing up at 11 because
Yeah.
I thought a 2-hour show would be where we should go.
Yeah.
But then I thought to myself like we haven't done this in forever, and nobody's gonna listen whether or not it's 2 hours or 3 hours.
that's true.
So if we're having fun, that's all.
We
that
just do it.
fucking matters.
That's the only reason why
Should
we're
we
here.
be done by midnight? Yes, we should be done by
sure.
midnight.
Brandon, I don't think your
But-
eyes are going to be open by then from the looks of you, dude.
Why?
Both of you guys are fighting to keep. If you put both your eyes together, it'll be halfway open. So.
It's just the glare from the lights on my glasses just makes it look that way.
Oh, okay.
They're actually.
That's what it is.
What else? All right, we gotta
Well,
kill time.
like,
Let's
we
move
gotta.
on.
Do you guys need to have any wrestling talk to be done?
No.
No. Okay,
not
good.
even a
Because I was like, I would be.
little.
There's
I had
really
nothing.
nothing that I
No.
care about going on right
No,
now.
Okay,
we start
cool.
talking about that, it's gonna be like the whole Vince McMahon thing, and I don't even want to talk
No,
about
let's
that
not
shit
get
even
into
a
that
little
shit.
bit. We hit video games, music, shit. No, we don't need wrestling on.
No playlist
The,
though.
the only thing I can think of that we still want to talk about, if you want to talk about what we should do for next episode's playlist, that would be a good one.
Sure.
And then just talking about what we wanted to do in future episodes of this show, how we're going to concentrate on some different like Howdy Inc. themes throughout the year.
Yeah, it being the
Play-
20-year anniversary, we
Yeah.
want to focus on different Howdy Inc. projects, however long they were. Some of them are multiple years long. Some of them are one episode.
Most of them are probably one or
A
two
good chunk of
episodes.
them have
There's
not reached
probably
5
more-
episodes.
Yeah. There's probably more that have not reached 5 episodes than there are that have.
I would agree.
I know I might be beating dead horse on this one, but one of my favorite or series, whatever you want to call it, that I wasn't involved in was Barcast.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I love
Yeah.
that one, especially when you took it to what the H was, that what it was
The
called?
H. Oh, yeah.
Recorded
Yep.
in a bar.
I
Yep.
always thought that was
And there's still people that are like regulars at the H that, because I don't go there like I used to, but when I do go there, there's still like the same fucking people that were there back then. And like that night, like in like multiple people's lives are like, you remember the night you fucking did a podcast at this fucking bar? Like they bring it up like it was like a super
I-
memorable
How
night in there.
awkward was
That's
that?
crazy.
I've always thought that would have been the one to take off if you could have regularly got in there and did that once a week.
Yeah.
Now with
randomly
video,
bring-
it'd probably be better than anything, if I'm
Right.
being honest.
And it'd be very
It's just
easy. I know
audio.
it was, but that's one that I think would need to be.
So an idea that I've had
Revisit.
with it being the 20-year anniversary of Howdy Inc. This is like the super like way over the top idea of like too hard of an idea that I know I'll never actually do. But I want to do like one episode of all of the different things that we've came up with over the years this year as a 20th anniversary thing. So I want to do like a new episode of Barcast, a new and just one. Like I'm not
Yeah.
saying like bring them all fucking back. I want to do one. I want to do this show throughout the fucking year, and even if it doesn't go on past this year, then that's perfectly fine by me. But bring it up or do it for a year and then bring back each one of those things. Do a new episode of the Howdy Show, do a new episode of Howdy
Fuck
Radio, do a new episode of Have Another, do a new episode of Barcast, just to kind of bring all of those things
Do
back.
one
just
more,
for-
another web show, or whatever. The
Yeah,
fuck that
yeah.
was.
Another web show, another late night toast.
Late Night Toast was
Just
just an
fucking
unknown
because.
podcast.
It's exactly this. It's exactly this.
It literally
Well,
was. We
start-
did everything the same.
We start the show with a different name and we come up with a different AI image to post on the fucking Instagram that week, and that's what I want to do. I think
And
that's
I think the Unknown podcast honestly has become the next. I mean, yes, most of the shows follow a similar format, but this has been the closest to the original Howdy Radio. I
Yeah.
would say in terms of the Unknown podcast. That's
it
what
became the old man version of Howdy
Yeah.
Radio. Because when we did Howdy Radio, we were super fucking young and super fucking drunk.
Very
And
drunk.
it was insane the stupid shit that we were saying, and it's probably all terrible fucking things that we said.
Hey, but we don't remember them because we were really drunk. Well, I was only
Yeah,
on one
right.
episode, and I was really drunk.
But then we got a little bit older, and this is kind of the more like chilled out version
Yeah.
of that. So
Now we're
Well,
smoking and
I
drinking.
think,
yeah, still drinking, and I do still have a pretty good buzz. So
Yep.
and I think this is the show that needs to, like you say, continue throughout the year.
Yeah.
this
But-
is the most it's what is the most successful show that Howdy Inc. has done. It's either
Next
the
Generation.
Unknown Podcast or Next Generation.
It's you did
one
more
of
Next
those two.
Generation
And I
because
wanna
we
do a
took
new
so
episode
many
of
breaks the
Next Gen.
first after we did. I think we did a pretty decent first year of this show. I mean, I think in the summer it kind of died out, but the first year we did a decent, and then it kind of petered off, and then we ended it for a year, and then came back for 3 episodes. So yeah,
And I-
you
yeah, and I-
definitely were more consistent with Next Generation and had
The
more
Next Generation
episodes.
was
Probably almost
Hmm.
twice the amount, honestly.
Right on. So that's yeah, you're probably right. It probably is twice the amount.
Yeah.
All right, so that's definitely the one we got to bring back this year then.
Yep.
Do I do it with both kids or do I do it with just Iris? Because it was just me and Iris
It
for like
was.
95% of it.
Well, how many are you just doing one?
Yeah, if we just do one,
I
that's
would
the
say
plan.
get both kids because in the end you were like last few you were definitely it was almost seeming to transition to being all 3 of you.
Yeah, that was towards the last few episodes. It was like now it's the 3 of us. That's how it
Yeah,
ended.
bring them. Why
it was
not have
it
all
was
3?
The 3 of you. It was the 3 of you for the what game Changer Wrestling? Was that when you did the ad? It was you three.
Yeah, yeah.
So definitely, and I even say bring back their show that they had.
Yeah,
The,
no shit.
They had like what, 2
That they did,
episodes,
which
of
I enjoyed.
movies. Yeah, it was good.
Movies. Yeah, good call.
That wasn't a Howdy
else?
Inc. one. I think they even mentioned that, didn't they, or did they?
Yeah, maybe they did try to make it like not a Howdy Inc. thing. I don't know. I'll make them do it.
Just make them do it.
But it will be weird saying like, "Hey, you guys want to do a podcast again?" Just because we haven't done it in so long.
Yeah,
But then the other,
they might. Want
I kind of said it already, was a new episode of the Howdy Show, and I thought it would be super easy for us all to be a part of a Howdy Show now, since we can all easily record video and put it all together. And I thought something that we could do that I've kind of always wanted to do was like for people to show off like collections that they have of some sort. Like Aaron's got like a bunch of fucking cool action figures. Taggart has a bunch of cool action figures. Smoothie has every fucking video game ever made.
Media of all
So-
kind.
Yeah. So like if you could like each person could like put together like a quick like couple minute video of like Kyle did like back in the day on the Howdy Show where he like showed off his DVD collection or something.
yeah, I can
That was
definitely
an
go
idea.
for Blu-rays back here. This is
Yeah.
all mostly
Yeah.
horror movies.
And then you pull out the DVD of Strangeland and show it like Kyle did, throwing back to that. I didn't know my dog was still down here. I thought he was upstairs. I mean,
See.
got home.
But yeah, no, that definitely sounds like.
I even thought about making like a little short thing of something to go in the Howdy Show, of going up to Columbus and meeting up with Kyle and doing like a quick little Ninja Land thing.
Gotta do Howdy sizing too.
Settle down, Dash.
Smoothie said, "Settle down, Dash." Smoothie did.
Oh, Liz, she can be part of the
Smoothie.
end of the podcast.
Yeah, get Liz in here. She's Howdy history.
She wants to be part of this. I know. She just
Uh,
walked in
well-
the door.
There's two different types of Howdy Radio that I want to do within the year. One being, like we said earlier, the Winamp thing was like when we first started like doing it like streaming, and you guys would join in, and Liz's sister would join in. I want to talk to her about joining in too. But then I want to do an episode 2 where it's just like one microphone that we all pass around, because that's how Howdy Radio originally started.
I would
and
say
that's
if we
just such
do a gathering, an actual in-person gathering, that would be the time to do it.
You're damn right about that. That's a great idea. We need to do an in-person gathering. That's what we need to do.
We do. That would be a
And it seems
perfect
like-
Howdy Radio one.
And it seems like maybe the gathering of the Juggalos could possibly be a pretty good place to do that.
It
was kinda
would.
something I
Are
was
we
thinking, so.
wanting to go to that?
It is around the time that we are talking about moving.
Ah,
So that's why I kind of haven't like dove into it.
okay.
I'd
But-
say.
But
I'd say
that's
do
like
it.
us. But that's us moving like best case scenario, and I'm not
course.
100% sure that best case scenario is exactly where we are. So I say that quietly so that Liz doesn't
Yeah.
hear me.
I hear you.
Smoothie,
No,
are you in any way, shape, or form possibly down for a gathering of the Juggalos meetup this year?
Maybe not.
100% honest. Don't sugarcoat it or whatever. If it's
No,
just
maybe-
say no.
One, at some point I want to address the past couple of years. That'll be a whole nother separate, not recorded thing. But I'm definitely down for a gathering of the Inglos.
Yeah.
Definitely. It might. I would love to go to the.
We gotta do
gathering, But financially, that may not.
If you're gonna talk right into here so that people can hear.
Yeah, talk. Get really close to his face.
Yeah. Put that in your mouth.
Exactly.
But
For a while.
Is Smoothie ranting?
Smoothie,
No, I'm not
we're
ready.
talking about going to the gathering of the Juggalos.
He's
Hold on.
promising to go to the gathering.
Hold
of
on.
the
We're
Juggalos.
basically getting ready to get
Get
on.
the
He
fuck-
said he's already got his
Yeah.
tickets.
We're buying everybody's tickets.
Oh,
Yeah,
great.
yeah, that's right.
Great.
It's,
Hold on.
is it coming with my
Wait.
Simpsons
Wait,
arcade
wait.
cabinet?
I gotta say this bottle was up here at the beginning. So no, but
I have a bottle of bourbon sitting next to me. So, but it's
Yes.
it
Anyway,
wasn't-
to answer your
But you had
question,
an
no, I'm not
old-fashioned.
sugarcoating. I would definitely love, at the minimum, before you guys move way over.
No, let's all
yonder.
go there instead.
That'd be fun.
Way over
But that'd
yonder.
be a little. That'd be a
Yeah,
little
right
more
when they move
money.
too.
Yeah.
Like right at
We
that
just-
time. Just like the worst
Right
time to
when
go
move
visit
in.
anyone.
Hold on, Scott, because you might be signing us up to help them move. So
I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll help 'em
just
move.
Follow them there.
but no, that I definitely would like to.
We all just move over there.
Yeah, fuck it. We're all gonna live in their
So
house
what you're
now.
saying, Smoothie, is you
Yeah.
are saying that you are more interested in a gathering of the Inkalos than a gathering of the Juggalos.
I'm kind of in
Definitely,
agreement with that.
before,
Okay.
I definitely before I would love to do the other thing, but I definitely before you I would like to actually meet you guys in fucking person.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That would be a nice thing.
I mean,
Scott,
I've met that person.
Scott and Aaron come to this area quite frequently, and we still haven't managed to freaking hook up for at least.
Yeah. I even go to
Ooh,
some of your
hook
old
up.
hangouts, and I haven't seen you. The Q
But,
Mart.
the Q Mart, exactly.
Yeah.
So there's plenty of opportunities for us, even moving forward. But
Yeah.
it might be a little harder once you move out west.
Yes.
Because I say that too because I have a brother who lives
Like a
like I said,
frontier man.
in the Dayton area, Vandalia. I think that's still where he lives anyway, from the last time. So that would be more feasible to at least go out to Ohio to visit, because I could kill two birds with one. I could go visit him and visit you guys, because I don't think you're that far from, because I think he told me he's been to where you worked
Mhm.
before.
Here to Dayton is like 45 minutes ish.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
It's not bad.
Tyler lives and
45 to an hour.
Yeah, Tyler lives in Dayton ish, and it's more of an hour than a 45.
yeah, I know the last and I'm pretty sure he's still at the same place when I went out to visit, because I initially was planning to. I got accepted to the University of Dayton, so I flew out that summer before college, and we went and toured the campus
Oh yeah.
with him. So I'm fairly certain he's still in Vandalia. That's where he
Yeah,
was from.
I know exactly where that's at.
One of my good customers at work, his son just signed to University of Dayton. They just did a whole big thing for it a couple days ago. To play
And
football, I think.
Sweet.
The thing that almost had me hooked with that was I remember they had a bowling alley on their campus,
I don't know.
in like their student center or whatever. So that almost
My
It almost
kids are
took
on the
me-
bowling team. Going to bowling matches is a weird thing.
Yeah.
but yeah, so I definitely
Yeah.
would like to make
Gathering of the Inkalos, if it's gonna happen, yeah, that's kind of like the perfect storm of this year should be it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,